we talked about so much bullshit before this, before the recording started, that I don't remember what episode it is.
Well, the recording just started because it decided that it wanted to freeze. But hey,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah, it was nice.
Oh,
That's
wow.
awkward.
I know.
Excellent.
So, this is episode 267.
Yes. Episode number 267. Excellent. And, yeah, we were in the middle of actually talking about something, so I think I don't know about you guys, but my brain is now sidetracked. The train has gone off the rails.
A-Train has gone off the rails. He's in New Japan again.
Oh no! I can't handle this hairy girth. Anyways, on a less disturbing and disgusting note, quickly get onto a topic before it gets worse. Oh, right. Did we even introduce ourselves?
No.
Oh, fuck. We're off to a great start today.
Who needs introductions? They know who we are.
Yeah,
all the best people do, but thankfully we're not that great.
Yeah.
Precisely.
We're on episode 267, I think. Yeah. we don't need an introduction. There's enough of those.
You've seen one introduction, you've seen all the introductions. Let's just get on with the show.
Show must go on, as that great Queen song goes.
Right.
Woohoo!
So, Addy, you were asking me a question. What's up?
Anything coming out on your channel?
Oh, that's it? Just the normal stuff?
Yeah, just the normal stuff.
I thought you were going to go deep there, but alright. What do I have coming out on my channel? Let's see. Ultimate Alliance. Yeah, Ultimate Alliance and nothing else.
Alright. Pink, what is the meaning of life?
Well, some would say it's a mystery. Similar to evolution.
You blew your chance to say 34.
Have we actually acknowledged on recording yet the name change?
No. Well, no, we don't know what fighting games are.
Oh yeah. Well, this is the first Shut Your Mouth Lounge of Devolution, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Ah, exciting.
Devolution is not a mystery. It's plain for everyone to see.
Devolution is a well-known fact. It is quite simple, actually.
Oh, God. See, the trouble with us having this, now implying we're like some kind of reverse evil clones of those guys, or perhaps good clones of those, is, like, for one thing, there's at least 5 of us who are more or less consistently in this stuff. 6 or 7 if you add, like, Goku or Iodil.
Yeah.
So not only does that screw with the numbers, but also that means next time we run into Mike, we're going to have to explain to him that he is now the evil clone of Ric Flair, or alternatively, the good clone of Ric Flair.
We don't know which one yet. Although if he's the evil clone of Ric Flair, then holy shit.
God, I'm going to go ahead and say Mike's probably the good clone.
Yeah.
Oh God, which of us is Reign of Terror or Triple H?
I'm tempted to say me just because I forced myself into everything. So hey.
Yeah. Which of us, Pink, between you and me, who the hell is Orton and who's Batista?
Well, I think I'd be the one who's much happier to coast on one major success for the rest of my life, so I'll take Batista's role.
I guess I am the more egotistical one out of the two of us as well, so Orton fits for me as well.
There you have it. And there was someone who was supposed to be part of Evolution, but got changed out for, I forget who.
Mark Jindrak.
Yeah, Mark Jindrak.
Oh, poor Goku. Soon's the member. Soon is just let me kill Meister.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh man, Evolution involved other heals from time to time, didn't they?
They must have at some point, but I can't remember. I remember all the faces that would gang up on him or attempt to, but I can't remember any heals that joined in on the fun.
I mean, Soon could just be Sean, I guess.
That'll work.
But
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, go ahead.
So how do we plan on devolving today? We're gonna just turn into a bunch of chimps.
Yes.
Usually we wait until Mike's on to do that, but today,
Y'all turn to monkeys, I just go feral.
yeah,
We call it a day.
we needed to hit the Neanderthal stage first.
Yeah.
I can feel my forehead growing already.
That's one of the brains.
Yeah. I've been sticking more brains in my ear.
It's like getting more RAM.
Yeah. You must download additional RAM. Oh, all right. Wasn't that the ultimate version of the Mad Thinkers gimmick, Pink?
Yeah.
He just downloaded
She was
more.
going around taking people's brains out and gluing them to her own.
Yep.
I mean, I can see where the original version of the Mad Thinker would have a hard time fitting in the Ultimate Universe. But really?
Yep.
Which is especially funny because around that time, DC was making a version of the Mad Thinker you could take more seriously in the new calculator.
That is true.
Either which way. Addy!
Yes.
Channel.
Well, I have recorded voiceovers for both of the videos I'm working on that have been completely scripted. I re-recorded the one that Pink helped me with because I mean I could have just cut out the changes that he, or I could have just cut around the changes he made because he didn't add any big parts of, like, how do I put this? Like Pink didn't add more words. He just trimmed the fat on my script. So I could have just edited around it. But I realized this after I re-recorded the script. So I didn't.
All right.
But yeah, so I started doing that stuff. I'll need a bit more footage. One of them I need to just actually sit down and edit it together. The other one I need a bit more footage for, so I'll just steal stuff from the backlog. Because I can just do that. I own 1/3 of this footage. I can use it. But yeah, and that should be fine. So yeah, maybe something coming out on actually no. Maybe something coming out on Friday on the main channel. Something definitely coming out on Friday on the second channel.
All right.
Because I finally so turns out Twitter is gonna make their API not free anymore at all.
What is an API?
It's a way for separate applications to hook together and work with each other. So like, how I used to post like videos from PlayStation to Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Twitter is saying, hey, PlayStation, if you want to do that going forward, you need to pay. And PlayStation might pay, but on the off chance that they won't, I just unlinked that and hooked it up with YouTube instead. So
I see.
Yep. That's what I did to begin with.
But yeah, so I did that. I uploaded a couple of shorter clips that I still thought were funny, and I uploaded one of them already, actually, which was Goofy beating a child who is yielding.
Oh.
Yeah. Like if you
look
into the videos channel, I titled like Goofy has no chill, because he doesn't.
That is true.
The worst part of how the YouTube integration into Discord is is that it cuts out my descriptions, which like usually they're cookie cutter. Don't get me wrong, but for these clips, I can use enough brain power to be like haha funny description. So like the goofy clip, I think the description is something like, "You better apologize for existing, Achyak." Which is just like I don't know. I like Goofy being fucking evil, pretty much. It contrasts well with him being Disney.
I mean, there's so little about Goofy in Kingdom Hearts that is Disney.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Yeah. So clips are gonna be coming out on Fridays on the second channel until they dry up, which is gonna be 2 weeks from now. Unless I have funny shit happen to me again.
All
Okay.
right.
And then yeah, videos I'm working on. Oh yeah, I also thought about finally I I'm trying to come into streaming. It's been 2 months nearly. Yeah, 2 months that I've been trying to actually fucking start a stream. And shit just keeps getting in the way. But yeah, I thought about doing a test stream of something I don't know what just yet. I'll need to add the bot first and then see how that works. And because like I want to do a closed test stream so that I can make sure that I can actually follow the chat and all that. Which that wouldn't be too much to follow probably, unless we actually like unless I tell you when I want to do it and you just come on to fucking heckle me to test out the bot and stuff, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, like basically, I want to, like the stuff that I want to make sure is that I can see the chat, I can use the stuff that's in the chat, and I can, still record the game without everything shitting itself on the PC. Because that's kind of an important part of live streaming. And so I would like for things to not just go haywire live completely.
Understandable.
And then once that's done, then maybe I'll actually do something for real, but who knows?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for my channels.
All right. On my own channel, I expect to do something in this coming week. There was the release of a most excellent mod for Total War Warhammer, and I would like to make a video about that. The last video I made about a Total War Warhammer mod got 100 views, which is quite low for me, but nonetheless, I shall forge on ahead, because everyone else be damned, I want to make videos about this. Shut up and deal with it.
Yeah.
And Addy, do you know what is coming out on the main group channel, the Devolution channel?
Yes. The last episode of
Why
Persona
do you
5
know?
for now. Because I have it open. I opened it up before we start recording, unlike I usually do.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we have the last episode of Persona 5 for now. The last episode we have recorded thus far.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a thing.
I say this every time. Remember when I told you guys that recording that was doing a series of that was a mistake?
I mean, honestly, I'd say it's been funny. Like, sure, we haven't finished. Like, sure, it's not something that we'll finish in the foreseeable future. But whenever we return, it's funny usually.
And it's Pink's first exposure to the game, though, so he barely remembers anything that's going on. Every time he gets in there, he's just doing the Samuel Jackson from Coming to America bit of, who the fuck is this asshole?
I don't know, because he remembered the test questions better than I did.
I remember
Well, that's
Volta
not
Boy.
persona. That's just a matter of actual real world knowledge. Like, it'd be another thing entirely if the test just asks you, what's the name of your cat? But no, they usually ask you, like, what's the capital of Ecuador? And that's a different skill.
No, I'm not talking about the answers themselves. He remembered that we were asked those questions.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice.
Maybe he just finds that more interesting than the game.
Maybe. Yeah, also, what's the name of your cat? Duke Nukem?
Dude,
Did we get to name the cat?
No.
you want to know the weirdest
Okay.
timing thing that just happened?
What?
You said that right as I was going through and deleting some of the useless modded moves in Fire Pro, and I roll over to a move and it says, can't delete this move, it's being used by Dick Kickham.
Nice.
And as I was reading Dick Kickham, you said, our cat is named Duke Nukem. And God has interfered on this day. If we play Fire Pro today, I need to play Dick Kickham. We all need to play Dick Kickham. In our heart of hearts, we are all Dick Kickham.
Yeah. I mean, for me, half of the fun of Persona has just been like doing the shitty voices, like my Tesco you fucking Duke Nukem. Morgana is just Tesco you Duke Nukem, because it's
In
funnier.
a game where the dialogue is already voiced.
Not all of it.
Most of it.
For some reason, like the parts that we were in required a lot of voicing. But yeah. Like when it's worse, then we let the voices play because fuck it, less work. But when it's miscellaneous, like hey, guy we couldn't be asked to pay someone to actually voice.
Yeah.
Then the funny ha-has comments.
Yeah.
It also leads to some funny moments when it's like, all right, so this random NPC that only shows up once has a fully voiced cutscene, and then another 30 paragraphs where they're not voiced.
Like, it can be fun. For my 2 cents as, LPing, it can be fun to do the little dialogue voiceovers when the game doesn't have too much dialogue. But if you're going to be doing a load of those side quests in Persona 5 where it's unvoiced, then it's just like, oh fuck, when do I ever get to commentate? Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, and then on Friday we have Fire Pro.
Why do we have
Yay,
Fire Pro?
Fire Pro, it's fun.
What a terrible game. Have you seen those graphics? Looks like a Super Nintendo game. Unbelievable. I don't approve. Can't believe you roped me guys into this. Or you guys roped me into this.
So far, that game has been a fucking gold mine for videos.
It's 2 videos, actually 3, but whatever. But one of those was just moves and editing. It's still really fucking funny for me to look at the first Fire Pro video, and it says copyright claim, and when I press it, it says Terry Funk.
Oh man. And he's chill about it. He's just putting you on notice.
Yeah, he's just letting us know, hey, I own this song in Japan, but only in Japan.
Hey, you listen here, you motherfucker. I sound too energetic for Terry.
Yeah.
Terry would never say anything that aggressive either. He'd just be like, well, I don't understand, but alright. It occurred to me the other day talking to Mike when Mike did a Terry Funk bit. It occurred to me, oh my god, Terry Funk is just a more badass Hank Hill.
Yes.
Now there goes that Sabu again, getting up there on that top rope. Huh? Dory, go get me my stepladder. I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind.
I'm gonna kick your ass. Looks in the truck in the spinning toe hold.
Hey, hang on. Hang on. Yeah, Hank. Yeah, as he's setting up the spinning toe hold, you hear this.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's really funny how I can do a Hank Hill at all. I can do a Bobby for some reason though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Bobby speaks entirely different from Hank. I don't see why that'd be weird.
I mean, it's just weird because my default voice is so low.
Yeah, Hank's not just got a deep voice, it's like he's got a weird, it's like coming from a weird place in the throat.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there's actual words for precise mechanics for this, like in singing or voice acting or so on. But like when I'm doing like a Hank Hill or Terry Funk impression, I feel like I'm kind of like widening the bottom of my throat, you know?
Yeah.
Which I'm sure it's actually not that. It's, maybe it's more like I'm actually tightening the upper throat or vibrating the voice, what's it called? Vocal cords. I'm tightening the vocal cords in a certain way. I don't know, but
Yeah, but you also need to be vary with these sorts of things so you don't end up throwing out your trussy.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
You heard me.
Oh, Usi. Okay.
Yeah, trussy.
Yeah, the lower thrusy, the upper thrusy, the vocal cussy.
So anyway, yeah, those are the videos coming out.
Excellent.
You know what? I don't know what it is with thoughts like this, but like, man, it wouldn't be funny to pay Terry Funk to be in a video. Like, if you ever get to like make money off of this shit. Then I remembered, oh yeah, Terry Funk is fucking old.
Yeah,
it's better not to bother him with shit like this.
If we had $1,000, we could pay for Undertaker's Fiverr, not Fiverr. Yeah, it wouldn't be called Fiverr with Taker. It'd be called
cameo.
Thousander, but
Yeah, his cameo.
Because he does do cameo and he costs $1,000, but nonetheless. But I remember I was listening to Cornette at one point, listening to a couple of Taker's cameos that had been leaked, and one of them is like they're just really, people pay Taker to say the wackiest shit, and all of us, still coming from an era where Taker was known as the one guy who didn't do shoot stuff, he was always working. It's just so bizarre, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's Taker saying stuff like, "Thank you for being such a wonderful husband," or "All elite Scooby Doo."
Yeah. I mean, the worst one that I've seen was one they got for Johnny from NL. Someone paid Undertaker $1,000 for him to say "fuck you, Johnny" and then left. And that was the video.
Amazing.
Like, he just. The best part is that the video was like 5 minutes long because he did this whole big long intro and then just said "fuck you, Johnny" and then started laughing.
I think that gets the message across.
Yeah. But yeah, like people abuse Cameo and the actors and voice actors and whoever else is on there a good bit. Like Gilbert Gottfried, God rest his soul.
Oh yeah, Gilbert Gottfried explaining the genetics of the solid snake and liquid snake.
That or the Mr. Breast and his breast burger. My cock is very happy. Yeah.
One thing you gotta keep in mind, Addy, while Gilbert Gottfried did do a variety of child-friendly movies, one of the things Gilbert Gottfried is more famous for here in the States, at least, is telling a 9/11 joke almost immediately after 9/11 during a comedy routine.
Oh.
And the crowd just, naturally fucking dying and like either booing him or just not reacting at all. And Gilbert Gottfried did the Aristocrats routine to try and recover from it, because in comedy that's pretty well the one thing you have like as your knee-jerk reflex for a bad situation.
Yeah.
So Gilbert Gottfried is mostly infamous as the guy who made the original too soon joke, but on top of that, brought back the Aristocrats joke, an incredibly ancient and very, 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 very crass joke to try and recover from it. Do you know what the Aristocrats joke is, Addy?
No.
I don't either.
The Aristocrats is supposed to be one of the most basic comedy routine bits to do. And every comedian is supposed to personalize it in their own way. But it all follows the same basic formula of a agent comes in and presents to a comedy club owner or something like that a new act called the Aristocrats. And it is a family of like European nobility and rich people who just do the comedian describes them doing a variety of heinous and horribly like disgusting stuff to each other, where it's like inbreeding and bestiality and torture and all this, that, and another.
Habsburgs.
Yes, and the joke was super relevant and super popular about 100 years ago to like 130 years ago, because at the time it was like a socially relevant comedy bit making fun of the aristocrats of Europe being a bunch of, perverts and assholes and so on. The joke went out of style throughout the late 20th century because people stopped really caring about aristocrats altogether, especially since the Nazis wiped most of the aristocrats out in Europe. But Gilbert Gottfried kind of brought it back with that, and it's come back to being kind of a legendary routine to just do that and stuff the most horrible shit that you can think of in your mind into it, and the entire bit is just try and shock and offend the audience as much as possible. So there you go. There's your history lesson, and that's why it's not really that absurd to have Gilbert Gottfried do cameos where he says incredibly vulgar jokes, or said. He's dead now, but
to me, it was just extra funny because he was doing the classic voice that he only put on for roles.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Godfrey ever did another voice.
Yeah.
He did it in interviews too. It was like a big shock to everyone when there was like someone released a recording of their voicemail on their phone, and it was Gilbert Gottfried using his regular voice, and he was, just like, "Hey, yeah, it's Gilbert. I just wanted to call you about so and such." And not, "Hey, it's Gilbert. I wanted to call you about the thing."
Yeah.
Yeah. It always reminds me of I mention this routinely because to me it's one of those funny wrestling trivia bits. But it always reminds me of Eddie Guerrero's super early promos where he was not doing the Viva la Raza bit at all. And he just sounded like the most bored office worker in existence.
Yeah.
All right, I'm beginning to detect that you guys have ceased caring what I'm talking about. Someone else take this away.
What were we talking about to begin with?
I don't know.
That's a good fucking question.
That's what I was trying to figure out over here. I was like, how did we get Gilbert Gottfried?
It was Addy saying we should put Terry Funk in our videos.
Yeah. All of them. He's just here now.
You put him into our old videos, edit him in.
Yeah. Just fucking... Just superimpose him into the internet footage.
Green screen him in?
Yeah.
Like fucking chroma key.
Yeah.
In some videos it's obvious, other videos it's an Easter egg. There's some video like of Rainbow Six Siege where you can see for just a second while somebody's passing through a hallway that there's some terrorist on the ground and Terry's putting them in the spinning toe hold.
Yeah. We shoot a random wall from the other side. You just hear muffled, my Lawler, my
At some point, a ceiling panel bursts in Siege, and you edit in Terry Funk pile driving someone from ECW through it.
Yeah.
Go back to the old Grand Theft Auto 5 recordings, and you can see in the distance, like, Terry Funk moonsaulting off the top of a tower.
Yeah.
The Terry Funk everywhere system.
Yeah. So anyway, Pink,
Yeah.
Me?
what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Not a lot. So I clearly played a lot of Fire Emblem over the week because that's brand spanking new, and I've been putting all my free time, my free hours into that game. Still very fun. Still enjoying it. Was playing Civilization 6, and apparently the Yongla game I started a couple weeks ago somehow just got deleted entirely. Because I don't typically save my games manually. Because whenever I log into Civ, I always just hit resume, and then it puts me back to where I left off. Booted up Civ 6, went to click resume. Resume was not an option. So, yeah, my game was gone, and I was a little sad about that. Because I was having fun with it. So I restarted a new Yongla game, and I actually got a very good start. It wasn't, like, mind-boggling or anything, but it was very similar to the image that Alex sent to the Discord the other week, where he spawned with a bunch of, like, sheep and cattle and other things and whatnot, and I told him to build a Temple of Artemis. And I've got a very similar situation, or had a very similar spawn, and I can actually do a screenshot real quick and add it to the Discord later on. But yeah, I got a great start with all the resources, got tons of little campsites, built the Temple of Artemis, so now I've got like 10 amenities out of a required 4. So it's been great. All the people are happy, which is something that doesn't happen in the classical era too often, but it's been good. And then as I progressed further into the game, I went down south and found the Galapagos Islands, and they are close enough to the continent that I can actually work the tiles, the science tiles, those big juicy science tiles that they provide. So
Excellent.
It's lovely. Very lovely stuff. So, Yongla's very good at science, and the Galapagos Islands just mega boosted it to an absurd degree, and it's been a very good game. Haven't even put a lot of cities down, but I'm still trucking along with a massive amount of science. So it's been fun. It's been very fun.
All right.
Outside of that, I don't think I did anything else. I was watching some old Detective Conan the other day. That's always a good show.
Yeah.
There was something else I watched, but I don't remember what it was. No, I don't remember at all. And I don't know. I played Dead by Daylight with Mike the other day, and then my server crashed, or the internet crashed. I don't know what happened there, but I couldn't log back on to join Mike, so I just stopped. And that's been the sum of my week.
All right.
Well then, let's see what I did. Editing.
Oh.
A lot of it.
I heard anything, and I thought you were asking us for suggestions. I was like, what do you mean?
What did I do, guys? Help.
I don't know what you did. What could you have possibly done?
But yeah, I did a lot of editing for this channel. Then, I went back to Sly Cooper 2. I enjoy it a lot more now that I don't play it like an actual stealth game.
I still find it kind of weird you did to begin with.
Sly 1 was an actual stealth game. That's why.
It's more platformer than it is stealth. It's a lot more platformer than it is stealth.
Yeah, I don't know. Like for me, it's a thing of, well, the action part wasn't as important in Sly 1. It was just like, all right, one of you get it was the one touch control system where like one of you gets touched, they're dead. So like, whenever we went into platforming, stealth was probably not something that you should do.
I just think of, when I think of Sly 1, you actually finished the game and I didn't, so that is a big change. But when I think of Sly 1, I just think of a lot of enemy encounters where there is no stealth around it, and it's an enemy with very aggressive projectiles that cover lots of the screen. So I just think of it as a classical platformer, 3D platformer.
I don't think there is. I think there's maybe one enemy in Sly 1 that I can think of that you can stealth past.
I think of the opening stretch of the very first set of the game where you're trying to get into the frog's blimp, right?
Yeah. Oh, you're
Like,
talking about
when
the
you're-
hub.
What?
The hub.
On the way to the hub, the level before the hub, because in Sly you never start out at the hub, you have to do a level before you get to the hub, right?
Yeah.
Well, on the level before the hub, there's like 3 instances I could think of dudes that just sit there with their little throwing stars, and you can't stealth past them. It's just a straight corridor, and they're at the far end of the corridor, and they can just see.
I'd have to replay the level because I don't fucking remember the first world. The one that I can remember is there's the snow level. On the snow level, there's this conveyor belt that's bringing you towards an enemy, and the enemy cannot be stealthed past unless you have the upgrade that makes it so you can go invisible.
Well, yeah, well, then that makes it where you can stealth past anything. I can see where it's a stealth game once you unlock that fucking
No.
ability.
No, but
That's a
aside from
change
that,
there.
but aside from that one, like I genuinely cannot think of any other from the other levels, I guess, and any other ones that you literally cannot stealth past.
Okay, regardless, let's just keep on. This is fucking small stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I still think that the episodes drag on a bit too much, but it's better than I'm not trying to actually stealth. And I don't really know what else to say just yet, because the problem with Sly for me is that a lot of times when I think I said this in relation to other games as well, but a lot of times when I play games, there's a comedy routine happening behind me. That's why. Fuck. Anyway, so where was I? Shit. Yeah, when I play games, I tend to have other audio on because I need whatchamacallit, more stimulation. It's a problem. Yeah. So for me to actually be able to play Sly, I need to be in the mindset of, all right, I want to play this game and I want to do nothing else but play this game. Because if I try to listen to other stuff on the side, then I just miss what the story is.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. And then I've also been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Origins because I can stream it through PS Plus, so which means that I don't have to download it. And I can also it also has subtitles, so I can play it. It also has subtitles and doesn't require me to actually pay attention to it, so I can play it while also doing other stuff while like editing. So
Yeah.
So like it's good for that. It's like it's something that I haven't said about any of the other new trilogy Assassin's Creed games. They're just the same game. All three of those are just the same game.
Yeah.
I have succeeded in getting to level 27 thus far and rising without actually starting the main storyline.
Yeah.
Like there's the interaction part that you need to do because otherwise you don't get side missions. I know I tried, but yeah. Once you get past the interaction part, then you can just do the side missions, and if you do enough side missions and ports and or whatever they call them, like the enemy camps, then you can just ignore the main missions and level up. Fuck. Yeah, anyway, yeah. This is one thing that I have to compliment this game over Odyssey because hey, Odyssey didn't let you actually skip around the place. You do all of these fucking missions, and then you move on. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I made. Where the fuck is it? I've been trying to stop cursing as much. It's not working.
It is sometimes pretty hard, yeah. It's harder in a social setting than trying to solo record, though, that's for certain.
Yeah.
In a solo setting, you kind of get used to being able to pause a little bit, to think about what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
You do want to try and avoid going, though, because, can be pretty awkward.
Yeah.
It can kind of take you out of it, and you kind of feel dumb going, Though I've noticed I'm regressing in that one. I seem to have gone back, like, when I was a late teenager or early young man, I was pretty good about not ever going, but I've suddenly gone backwards, and I don't know why.
It's the curse. I've also did this years before.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
so
thinking at this point I should do a series of get back to being good at games for some games.
but yeah, I
Man,
made,
Gladius had happened overnight, though. I went from being good to being bad overnight. Like Total War, I can look at it and go, like, oh, it's been a minute. You know, I had pretty well haven't played Total War consistently since the move, so I'm really rusty. But Gladius, I was playing it throughout like almost all of January. Then, like, you know, once it hit like January 28th or whatever, it's just suddenly like, oh, gone.
You've used up all your skills.
yeah, your free trial of being good has ended.
But yeah, swearing is considerably harder in a social setting just because there's more of an expectation of I need to keep talking or else they will lose interest, or depending on who you're in conversation with, they will take it and run away with it before I can say what I want to say.
Yeah,
Not so much a problem with you guys, but definitely a problem with Mike or Soon.
Right.
I think all three of us are very used to the pace of each other's speech. I mean, Soon and Mike are both used to our speech as well. It's just that Mike's just super talkative and Soon just doesn't give a shit.
You know what I really need to do is I need to stop saying fucking and just switch back to using bloody after every second word.
You know, I don't know how that will be in
funny.
Europe, but in America, no one will mind.
Yeah.
You know what the primary issue you would get from doing that in America would be, Addy?
What?
People think you're British.
I say mate enough for that to be the case anyway. So, like you know how people fall back on it. Like, okay, you know how Hulk Hogan calls everyone brother and Jack and dude.
Oh yeah, brother.
And then how other people just fall back onto using like bro or whatever. Like that's made for me. Whenever I'm angry or whenever I just want to not sure like whenever I want to point out that someone that I am talking that exists, I just blurt mate. And the thing is, like, I don't even do it in the English way. I do it in the Australian way. I just go like, nah, mate.
The goofy thing will be for if anyone does know you're Hungarian, you'll confuse them and make them think that all Europeans talk like that.
Yeah. The Australians don't say shrimp on the Barbie. They say prawns on the Barbies. The other Europeans.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made a logo for Operation Claymore, so that I may use it for the thumbnails. I don't know how I feel about it, looking back at it, but hey.
Ooh, I like it.
All right, and then the first thumbnail, which, as you know, there's gonna be like 3 different thumbnails for the videos, for the Operation Claymore videos. Where I put it here, I think. Yeah, I'm done with the sketch layer for that, so I can actually send it over and y'all can see the sketch at least.
Oh
yeah!
And I don't know why, but Pink gives me big Shaggy vibes.
Oh, like me and Pink are both looking around worried. Meanwhile, you're just looking at the claimer like, ah, yes. This holds the power.
Art is an explosion.
This is the means by which we conquer the world.
Yeah. But yeah, like that. I figured this would be the concept for the first one. Then in the second one, all 3 of us will be holding a claymore, and then the third one will be the one that W suggested.
Yeah. I forget, who did I say would be the one who's actually like doing the Jeb
You
pose?
didn't.
Didn't. Well, that's a good question, because I don't think all 3 of us can be doing it. Unless...
I mean, I could try us, like, you know how people stand linked?
Tachanka.
Oh, Tachanka, yeah, Tachanka could do it.
He's not even on the right side, but nonetheless, he is our god, and we must worship him.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's not the in-game Tachanka. It's Asian Bob Ross.
Yeah.
It's not Tachanka.
The multi-dimensional spirit of Chanka.
Yeah.
At some point, we need to get Chanka into Fire Pro. Do you want to handle him, Addy, or should I?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. I feel like he's going to be the first one I actually want to go ahead and make a second attire for. Though I guess all of us could get extra attires if we want.
Yeah.
You can actually copy attires on the same character, so that does actually cut out a lot of the work.
Nice.
So, for instance, Addy, every character has 4 attire slots.
Yeah.
So you could copy it over and then just delete the karate gi off your bear dude, or dog dude, bear dude, whatever the hell he is, and go from there.
Yeah. And then I think that's all I've done.
All right.
I guess I'll check, but yeah, you can go ahead with your week while I do that.
Okay. What have I done with my week? Where did it go? Where did I put it? I've got it at gunpoint. I have spent a considerable chunk of my week, let's see, traveling around, getting groceries, trying restaurants around the place. Now that, my COVID has firmly gone away.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has happened. We have been just trying places around here. Found an awesome ice cream joint. Has a ice cream that is actually like there's very little actual ice cream in it. for the most part, I think that actually it might be entirely the cream itself. The vanilla ice cream itself is replaced with melted white chocolate that's then been frozen again. And I know there's lots of people that don't like white chocolate, but I'm a white chocolate guy.
I'm not, but I respect your decision to hate yourself.
Yes,
And
I'm with Pink on this one.
it's a lot smoother than ice cream because it's melted but cold, right?
Yeah.
And then they put in chunks of Oreo and little bitty scoops of very smooth, creamy peanut butter.
Mm.
It is diabetes in a waffle cone, but nonetheless, it is amazing. Tried 2 local Mexican joints, both of
Ooh,
which
nice.
were pretty great. One had better tortilla chips, but the other but had so-so entrees. Pretty good, actually, but just didn't compare it to the second one. Had burnt chips, and the only dip they gave you was salsa. But it had great entrees. The issue with local Mexican joints, well, just Mexican joints in general, really, is when you get a taco and you want an even split of beef, cheese, and lettuce,
Yeah.
But most places are just really giving with their lettuce, but they put the beef and the cheese at a premium,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, not that place. Whew. Very, very nice. Had a good time. I want to throw this one in just because, holy crap. When's the last time, Pink, you've been to an IHOP?
I don't believe I've been to an IHOP since I was like a wee little lad, like 8 years old, maybe. So that's a long ass time ago.
Yeah, I also have not been to an IHOP since I was a wee boy. But nonetheless, we went to an IHOP because we were looking for a place that could have a cheap breakfast. Because we went to Cracker Barrel last week and it was awesome, but it was also very, very expensive.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so every time you go to a IHOP, it's really easy to see why Waffle House has just overrun them badly in the last decade or two. Yeah, it sucked.
I mean, didn't they try to
Believe
change
it.
them? Didn't they try to change the name to IHOB?
I don't care.
Because who needs pancakes when you have burger? As if there's not like 19 different fast food chains that are about burger.
Might as well change it to IHOS, International House of Shit. Anyways, yeah, just kind of bland, so-so, unmemorable food. And then I thought it was nice. Oh, they've got a little platter of syrups you can put on your pancakes, right? We got the classic maple syrup. We got some kind of butternut syrup. I didn't check that one. We got blueberry and strawberry. And I was, interested in trying them out, but my God, they're just loaded with sugar.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, a little bit of sugar in your syrup, good. But like the blueberry syrup and the strawberry syrup were both like just drinking like blueberry or strawberry flavored crushed soda, right?
Yeah.
And it was just ugh. And not only that, we were unlucky enough to be seated right next to a lady who looked kind of like an addict, and I mean, that's kind of what IHOP's known for at this point.
Yeah.
And she had a beanie, and it was one of those bad cases of the beanie was staying on for long periods of time where it really shouldn't, and the hair and or the beanie were getting wet for long stretches of time, and she evidently was not washing the beanie. So there was like a good solid 30 feet around her area of effect radius of just horrible mildew stench and BO. Like the combination. That's the brutal part. It's a combination.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that was just oof. Yeah, that if the meal wasn't bad enough on its own, that really added to it. So yeah, still found some good restaurants, found some bad ones.
Oh yeah.
But we learned. And in terms of what I actually did in terms of video games and such, yeah, I was just playing around with the new Thor Warhammer mod. I'll just get through this real quick because I know this is kind of just a me thing. It is the Southern Realms mod. It fleshes out the Warhammer nations of Estalia, Tylea, and the Border Princes, and the New World colonies, which are respectively the Warhammer equivalents of Spain, Italy, the Balkans, and real world, circa Renaissance, early colonial period, Hispanic, colonies in America.
Aha.
Very fun, very unique rosters, very well made, very different to play because the typical balance mentality in the modern era, especially for mods, is overtune instead of undertune. Better to have something be slightly overpowered than slightly underpowered. And This guy actually operates in the different mentality. In the opposite mentality, he'd rather have it undertuned than overtuned. But nonetheless, still very fun. He's very good at balancing it, the Kataf fellow. And on top of that, the mod did exist already for Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2, but they were kind of built as just being spin-offs of the Empire, which the roster felt very different to play, but actually building cities felt very similar to building Empire cities, which is kind of disappointing. With Warhammer 3, the Kataf has just gone whole hog, fully into it, and has made them a fully separate culture that pretty well doesn't play anything like the Empire, has a wholly separate economy and building tree. It's all very, very cool. I'm very, very happy with it. Good shit there. With that out of the way, the only thing left that I can think of that isn't wrestling that I did for this week, and oh boy, I'm sorry, Addy. There's going to be a lot of Roman Reigns talk, and I know you're not a big fan of that. But, and there's the sound of silence confirming it. Okay. So, Addy, you might want to just go do something else for a while. But anyway, that's the sound of silence that says, no, fuck you, I'm just going to kill you. That's a sign of silence that says, next game we play, Alex, I'm just going to focus on you.
Now I'm looking through the memes I have saved because I have a couple, but I like, some of these stuff is just like, hey, if I get a chance and I feel like it, I'll post them. So I'm looking through them to see if any of them are funny for real, you know. I'm also doing channel management on the side.
Okay, so just yesterday found this really cool nerd memorabilia shop. It is called Second and Charles. I don't know how many there are in the world, but they are apparently the kind of outlet store for Books A Million. Which, Pink, have you ever been to a Books A Million?
I've been to Books A Million, yes.
They kind of just feel like discount Barnes & Nobles, don't they?
Yep.
Well, Second and Charles is actually really awesome. The books are actually at reasonable prices. You don't have, them running Barnes & Noble prices without Barnes & Noble aesthetic or quality. They're actually at reasonable prices, my God. But also a wide variety of things that aren't books. They got CDs, they got vinyls, they got tabletop games, they got guitars. They got, I assume, other musical instruments, but I didn't go check that section. That's more my dad and my sister's wheelhouse right there. They got old video games going back to the NES, which was a shock.
Nice. Are they collector's prices?
Are they what?
Collector's prices. Words.
I didn't take a look at too many of them. Some of them seemed pretty reasonable. Like, they actually did pay attention to which ones are rare, though.
Yeah.
Because I want to say, I looked
fair.
and I saw, Tecmo Bowl for the NES was probably, I don't know, $8 or whatever. But then I went over and I saw they had a glass case, which is where they keep all the super valuable ones. And I saw, for instance, Haunting Ground, right, for GameCube. And that one was actually labeled super rare, $300.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to see the origin story of the dog from Resident Evil 4, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. I shouldn't say that. Supposedly Hunting Ground is an amazing game. Anyways. Yeah, so, very cool store. They also had old toys ranging all the way back to, the 80s. I saw an old Things toy that I used to have when I was a kid, like from Fantastic Four Thing, not
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Carpenter, not John Carpenter's The Thing.
That would be an interesting toy.
Yeah, it just flails and howls even without you pressing buttons.
Yeah.
It starts absorbing your other toys.
It's one,
Comes
it's
with
one of
real
those.
acid.
It's one of those rubber toys that you can just pull over the other toys that you have.
Oh boy, comes with real acid spitting action. All right. So, anyways, yeah, very cool place. And while we were there, someone in my family wanted to pick up a Christmas gift that they were not able to pick up on actual Christmas Day because it's apparently kind of rare, more rare than I was expecting. A collection of pretty well, I don't think it's every Frank Miller Daredevil story, but it's all the big ones, including most importantly, of course, Born Again.
Right.
And it is a very nice hardcover book. I am very excited. I've already read the first two comics included, which were comics from they wanted to, I guess, establish the history Miller has with Daredevil. So it starts with 2 issues from back when Frank Miller was the illustrator, not a writer yet. He was an artist first, believe it or not. Way back when Frank Miller was the artist on Peter Parker the Spider-Man.
Oh.
Way back when, how many ongoings did Spider-Man have in the early 80s, Pink?
5.
That was like the 5th one, yeah.
You got amazing, spectacular, sensational, Peter Parker, and probably one other that I'm forgetting.
Let me pull it open and actually see the who wrote it, because it's not a name I've ever heard before. I was curious if you'd recognize it. Do you recognize Bill Mantlo?
Bill Mantlo?
Yeah.
Mantlo?
Yes.
I definitely recognize the name. I couldn't tell you what he does off the top of my top of my head.
Because he did write these, like, 2 issues of Peter Parker the Spider-Man.
Huh.
Which the cover is labeled Marvel's TV sensation.
Yeah.
And, yeah, shout out to the Jabroni villains for these 2 issues I did read. We got the Masked Marauder.
Oh boy.
His gimmick is he has a mask that shoots optic blasts that make you blind for a day. So, of course, Spider-Man just happens to get help from Daredevil to fight him. And then the second issue is all about, oh, look out, it's Spider-Man's newest, most personal enemy, Carrion.
Ross? Oh
yeah. Carrion. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. His gimmick is he's a corpse-looking dude who knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man and things die at his touch. And he looks like a zombie, but wrapped up in a bit of mummy wrapping, but not really a lot. And when I see that, and I just see, oh, his power is he makes organic beings disintegrate at his touch, it's like, okay, so it's pretty obvious why this villain never got any more Spider-Man stuff. This guy's a little bit outside of PD's league. There's some characters that it's hard to do anything with if their power is just deletes whatever they don't like.
Yep.
Like, one of those characters that's almost like kind of Electro, right? Electro should be outside of Spider-Man's league, but he's always brought into Spider-Man's league by the fact that he's an idiot. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either which way, yeah.
So anyway, like Sandman should be out of Peter's league, but Sandman is also known for suffocating himself. So the mess.
Sandman's not just held back by his intelligence, he's also held back by the fact that he has an actual moral compass.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, I was surprised. I always heard people say Frank Miller's art was bad. And I wouldn't say it was good, but I don't think it was bad either. I think it was just kind of acceptable art for the era.
Yeah. I was never a big fan of Frank Miller. He did obviously regress in his later years. If you go look at his more modern artwork, it's like it's a parody.
We don't
of
talk
art.
about Batman Holy Terror.
Yeah, yeah.
I just searched it up and I see Batman and what?
Wait, which Batman are you seeing? Batman Holy Terror or All-Star Batman?
I have no clue.
Because both are embarrassing, but for entirely different ways.
Wait. That's the Flash. And I think... I'm looking at Holy Terror, I think. But it's kind of just the Flash.
Hang on, wasn't Holy Terror a Batman comic? Give me a second. Or was he a separate... He was a separate hero, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He
Seems
was
like
kind of
it.
like Frank Miller's Mr. A, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yep, okay, yeah, I had that confused. Right, okay. So, Addy, do you know the story of All-Star Batman or the story of Holy Terror?
No.
Okay, so it was kind of one thing led to another in terms of Frank Miller's downfall, though he's back now, so I guess it just kind of a temporary downfall. A slight tip. He stumbled, I guess. So,
Oh, is All-Star Batman the one that's laughing about fucking while he's falling to his death?
I don't know about that. I've never heard that one.
Oh, there's a panel I think from this comic run where Batman is just falling to his death and he's just laughing, going, "I love my job."
That does sound like All-Star Batman, yes. When you think, virtually all the instances you've heard of down the years of Batman being a crazy psychotic asshole have come from All-Star Batman. So, Addy, Pink, actually, I'm going to need to see, do you remember this better than I do? Did All-Star Batman come after or concurrently with All-Star Superman?
I want to say it comes after All-Star Superman.
Okay, because All-Star Superman was a Grant Morrison, non-canon comic book about what if Superman discovered he had a terminal illness and only had, 12 days to live. And it's a very, very well-loved comic book by everyone except Ted. And it was a pretty big success. So, DC Editorial was like, okay, this sounds like a good idea. Let's make a line of all-star comics. They're supposed to be each superhero refined down to, getting put through something that refines them down to their core elements of their identity. And who knows the core element of Batman's identity better than Frank Miller? Since Frank Miller more or less built the modern incarnation of Batman with The Dark Knight Returns. Which is not accurate, I should throw in. The modern incarnation of Batman, as we know him, largely started in the late 70s. But nonetheless, the idea has developed down the years that nobody knows Batman better than Frank Miller. And I think All-Star Batman did a lot of work to kill that idea, but nonetheless. So they gave Frank Miller All-Star Batman and gave him more or less carte blanche. And he wrote Batman as this psychotic, violent asshole that just loves beating the piss out of people and is super abusive towards Robin. And also has, credit where credit is due, more of a sense of humor than most Batmen. But nonetheless, it's very misplaced, kind of sadistic, dumb asshole humor.
Yeah.
By far, the most famous part of All-Star Batman is the shot where Robin is complaining to Batman about having to go out and fight criminals at night instead of do normal kid things. Something like that. I don't quite recall. I could be wrong about that. But everybody remembers the dialogue of Batman saying something along the lines of, "I don't care," followed by the iconic,
I'm the goddamn Batman.
"I'm the goddamn Batman."
It's the he says worse than "I don't care," but But yeah, that's the like I searched up Frank Miller All-Star Batman, and it's the
Oh my god, I forgot that.
yeah. Let me send y'all the fucking the
You
panels.
are you?
Yeah, there's the panel pink. If you refresh her.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Batman and
Oh, no.
hard R privilege.
I mean, didn't they announce recently that Logan is gonna be going hard R with those words?
That was. Yes, of course that was a misinterpretation of what hard R meant.
No, they're talking about the R rating, not about the words. But still, they could have worded it better.
You heard that from. I know the community you heard that from because there is a community that I know you're a part of that has a fascination with the concept of the hard R.
Yeah. Like I know once again, I know they refer to the rating, but probably could have been worded better.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, in the modern society of memes, like everybody's going to see that headline and know that the point of that statement was not to say that Wolverine's going to go around slinging racial slurs left and right.
Yeah.
But they're going to meme on it.
Yeah.
And then memeing on it is going to mean everybody will know in the space of like a month, hey, the new Wolverine game is going to be M-rated. And like super M-rated.
Yeah.
With the beer and the brawling and the cursing and the sex and the things and the guy.
Yeah, I'm making my own Wolverine with magic and hookers.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Frank Miller.
Yes. So after that, he that clusterfuck, which he eventually recognized everybody was laughing at him, so he deliberately turned it into a comedy series and pulled the Tommy Wiseau thing of, no, it was comedy from the beginning. It was supposed to be funny. And everyone was like, Frank, we don't believe you.
But yeah, like I just search of Frank Miller art, and this is one of the first pictures that I find. And I'm doubtful, but either way, this is.
Oh yeah,
this sure is Batman in it.
That is definitely from a Frank Miller comic, but I couldn't tell you if he drew it. Frank didn't do the art on Dark Knight Returns, did he?
I think he did.
Okay, then that is Frank Miller art.
Quick,
If
but
Pink would know. So that is actually the shot from Batman and Superman's climactic duel at the end of the comic. When Batman is on the cusp of having a heart attack because he's old and relatively fat, but he just won't give up, and Superman is telling him, dude, give up, you are legitimately about to kill yourself, and Batman is just screaming and whooping and hollering and going, I don't care! Because I don't think I've fully read Dark Knight Returns. I've definitely read the premise and seen the highlights, but I think it was kind of one of those things of Batman deliberately wanted to die under the cowl. He didn't want to get old.
The Ric Flair method.
They made a Dark Knight Returns sequel, whereas retconned in that Batman faked his death, but, you know. Dark Knight Returns, by the way, also the comic that originated the idea that Batman and Superman have to fight and that they're opposites and not friends.
Right.
Dark Knight Returns, Pink, which between Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns, both of which are good comics on some level, but between Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns, which do you think did more damage to the comic book, storytelling in comic books?
That's an excellent question.
Because Dark Knight Returns did a shit ton of damage to specifically Batman the character.
Yeah, that's why I lean towards Dark Knight Returns, because it both damages the comics on a whole, but also damages the characters inside. And the damage to those characters, you can damage the Watchmen characters all you like. All they have is Watchmen. They don't have 60, 70, 80 plus years.
I would say that, but Question and Captain Atom both sometimes catch strays from Watchmen.
That is true.
Like, Question on some level has been turned into lovable Rorschach. Captain Atom on his There are a lot of bad days where Captain Atom is Dr. Manhattan at his worst, if not worse than Dr. Manhattan.
Right.
What are these fucking titles? Frank Miller, Dark Knight 3, the Master Race.
Yeah, the Dark Knight Returns sequels. Because at first he made it super political with Dark Knight Strikes Again, but everybody just thought it was funny because it's like, oh, look at that, Green Arrow's just being a leftist vocal asshole. It's kind of funny. But it just kept getting worse. Isn't either an All-Star Batman or one of the Dark Knight Returns sequels? Well, he also made Batman Year 1 sequels. He made Batman Year 2 and Batman Year 3.
Mm-hmm.
Which DC itself, of course, decided to fucking ignore and replace with The Long Halloween and Dark Victory, both of which are much better.
Yeah.
Which, credit where credit's due, Batman Year 1 is great. Batman Year 1...
I read all 3 of those, I think.
Which...
Years 1, 2, 3.
Okay, no, you didn't. You would have read... I don't think you did. I think you read the New 52 attempts at imitating Year 1.
Possibly.
I'm pretty sure you read Zero Year.
I don't remember.
Right?
It's been a while.
Because I want to say that you said you had read Zero Year and its follow-ups, which would have been Court of the Owls, and what else was the follow-up to Zero Year? Shit, I don't remember.
Like I definitely read New 52 stuff, but I also went back for older comics.
So Year 1 is the Batman comic that not only focuses on Batman coming up and becoming Batman, it's also pretty well the first Batman comic where Gordon is just as important as Batman. It's focusing just as much on Gordon coming up in the GCPD and dealing with the corruption.
Yeah.
And it has the very famous scene of when Batman goes to all of the rich assholes and the mayor and the chief of police and the mob bosses all having dinner together. And Batman breaks in the window and says, you know, you've eaten good on Gotham's fat or whatever. You've eaten good on Gotham's fat, but it ends tonight.
Yeah.
Which is like one of the best Batman scenes ever. But either which way, yeah, hang on. Okay, here's the question. There is no way you would forget this, Addy. Was it either All-Star Batman or one of the Dark Knight sequels, or was it one of the Batman Year 1 sequels, where there is a storyline where Joker is dating a Nazi, and the Nazi is this big, muscular, blonde chick who is completely topless except for swastika pasties?
Okay. If that was in one of the year sequels, then I didn't read them. But I
was going to say, because you would remember that.
Yeah, I did see cut out of that. So if I can fucking find again, I can tell you if it was part of the year sequels at least.
Christ alive. You're such a weird dude.
Yeah. Oh, it was All-Star Batman from the looks of it.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was going to say, I know I've heard that the Year 1 and Dark Knight sequels...
No. Okay, so I have to search through All-Star Batman to actually find the comics, the panel of it. But apparently, either he introduced them in All-Star Batman and then brought them to Dark Knight 3, or they were just in Dark Knight 3.
I guess that would... Oh, you know what? If Dark Knight 3 is subtitled The Master Race, that makes sense. That it'd be about Joker teaming up with Nazis.
Yeah.
But, boy, oh god. And then, of course, you know, all this to explain Holy Terror. Which, Pink... The only thing I know about Holy Terror is the bare bones basics that everyone points out about Holy Terror. Do you happen to know more about it?
No.
Okay, that's probably good. Frank Miller got real bad into alcoholism in about the early 2010s, late 2000s. And he also got real political. And Holy Terror is the final manifestation of that. It is a comic book about a superhero whose entire gimmick is he crusades through the Middle East beating up Muslims, and to my understanding, it's supposed to be that he just goes for radical Muslim terrorists, but generally speaking, the character's dialogue and a lot of the narration is just firing shots at all Muslims altogether.
Ah,
So, yeah. And after writing that and eventually getting clean from alcohol later on, it's funny, we were just talking the other night, me and my family, about Roseanne Barr saying that she was only racist because she was on Ambien, right?
yeah.
And it's kind of, Frank Miller more or less did kind of go, like, don't worry, guys, I was just racist because of the alcohol. The thing that really cracked us up, though, I was looking up the Roseanne Barr case, right? Because she went and said, I was only racist because I was on Ambien last night. And apparently, the company that makes Ambien put out an official announcement of, none of our drugs have a side effect of racism.
Nice.
Either words, how the fuck did we get here? Oh, Frank Miller's art.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna read Frank Miller Daredevil comics. Woohoo! All right, Addy, I'm sorry. It's Royal Rumble time.
Oh boy.
So, first we got the men's Rumble, right?
Yeah, what a way to open the show.
I liked it.
I didn't. Show should always end on a rumble. But they did make up for it ultimately, so I don't hate it.
Oh, I whether or not the actual men's Rumble should be the main event, I would say, yeah, it probably should be the main event. Like, I understand that there's probably a big reason why they booked it that way was just because they wanted the show to end on the shot that it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be probably better for it to be the main event. With that said, in our group, there are a lot of people mad about that, but I don't think you and me are going to be that way because, I mean, I think a lot of people in our group were mad about the way it went down just simply because the final two are not guys that are popular around here, except with me and you.
Right.
But the issue that a lot of people had that I think on some level was fair was no surprises this year in the Rumble, right?
Yeah, I didn't hate the no surprises. I hated that they basically announced every competitor going into the match except for 3.
Yeah.
Which I can go a year without surprises. I don't need legends returning. I don't need celebrities. I don't need any of that garbage. I just want the actual roster to be a mystery. So, yeah.
I mean, the only legend in the match was Book, and I mean, Book ain't who he used to be, you know?
Uh-huh.
The Logan was a surprise, though. Logan Paul was a surprise.
Yeah.
I was kind of figuring he was going to be out till Mania from how bad he got hurt in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
And then proceeded to try and hurt himself as bad as possible in that match.
Yes.
That fucking spot, my God.
He only signed the WWE contract by accident. He wants out.
Yeah. Oh my God, I actually saw a clip, but let me interrupt this Royal Rumble talk to get this in. Because it's, oh my God, just horrible. So Cody was on Logan Paul's podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I did not watch it, because God help me, I am not going to do that. But nonetheless, I saw a couple of clips get thrown around. One of them was Cody saying that his tattoo on his neck, that horrible, hideous thing, that must cost him several, hundreds of thousands of dollars, in just people not wanting to buy his shit because of that terrible tattoo, or not wanting to watch his matches because of that terrible tattoo. Like, my God, that tattoo must actually cost him a fortune without him even intending it.
Right.
So he said on Logan Paul's podcast, there was a screw up. That tattoo is actually supposed to be half the size it is.
Ah, nice.
Fucking whoops.
Yeah. I mean, technically, he could get it removed with a laser and then redo it, but like, fuck.
But that's a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
It's a massive undertaking, and it's on his neck.
Uh-huh.
Like, he's better off just letting it fade like Kofi has with his tattoos.
Right. Except he's white, so it won't happen quite as fast.
No.
Yeah.
The other thing he said, though, is he was talking at one point about working in New Japan, and he was going to gyms, of course, and he was talking about how the culture over there is very, very, very unaccepting of tattoos. And he was getting dirty looks, and the workers were treating him shitty, the other people at the gym were treating him shitty because he had loads of tattoos, right?
Yeah.
And in Japan, that's really only a thing for the Yakuza, you know?
Oh.
Well, people are starting to open up, but yeah, generally, yeah.
It's definitely moving slowly. That's always the thing
Yes.
you get, though, is like when people say, well, they're progressing, and it's like, yes, very small communities are progressing.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
think it's a thing
nonetheless-
of like, well, the government is progressing. The people aren't actually going with the law, but you know, the government has said that they're fine with this.
Yeah.
Just like people, just like gay couples getting accepted into love hotels.
But Cody said, you know how it is over there. And
Yeah.
one of Logan Paul's jabroni friends chimed in with, actually, he doesn't. He's not allowed over there anymore.
Nice.
And that was just pain. And Cody, you just watched him die. Like, I have to imagine that's the routine thing of working backstage in WWE with Logan Paul around. Is like, for a moment, you're like, oh, he's so talented, and he's actually a pretty chill dude. And then every now and then you get those little reminders of like, oh, he's an awful person. Fuck.
Right. Right.
Either which way, yeah, my God, that spot. Like, it's obviously like a second iteration on the spot Ricochet did with Carmelo Hayes, right?
Yeah.
The Ricochet Carmelo Hayes spot was still a little bit dumb, but it was like, oh, they weren't looking. They didn't know they were going to collide midair. He thought he was going to catch him on the Irish whip back, right?
Right.
But this one, it was just 100%. They were already on the apron shouting at each other. And I swear to God, as I was watching the TV before they did it, I said, like, oh, yeah, they're standing on the upside of the ring and they're going, let's do something stupid. Yeah, let's do something stupid. Poor Ricochet getting dragged in by Logan Paul's poor decision making.
He also wants out of his contract.
Yeah. By the way, I saw somebody, put up a screenshot of the still image of them flying towards each other in midair, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else in the ring is like on the ground, all like playing dead and the whole bit, except Braun, who is looking up like he's clearly supposed to be selling, but nonetheless he knew the spot was coming, so he was looking up anyways, and he's going like, holy shit, man. And Gunther, who is sitting in the corner with just the biggest, like, gaping, overdone, oh my God, face. And it's just one of those things of wrestling. Like, when this cartoon bullshit happens, how is everyone else supposed to react? Oh, man. Either which way, yeah, the final lineup of Gunther and Cody. So Cody continuing to prove that he will do suicidal shit for pops and for sympathy. They work the entire match, the entire like 10-minute match that continues after the Rumble itself is more or less over, around Gunther, chopping the ever-loving shit out of Cody's torn pec.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, about halfway through that, just honestly just turned away and stopped looking at the TV. And my dad just kept looking at it and swearing that the pec was torn again. And I just had to keep going like, no, guys, they wouldn't do that.
I'm just
they do that.
I'm just imagining him doing a fucking an impression of his dad. It's good heat, daddy.
Yeah. Fuck, Dusty did do that, didn't he? With the Road Warriors, the spike in the eye, right? God, they're just all crazy.
Yeah, the Rhodes family is all carnies.
And didn't Dustin get like opened up super bad in that hardcore match he had with Cody in AEW?
Yeah,
I think so.
Like there was just Dustin blood all over the ring.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is wrong with that family?
Carnies, the lot of them.
Oh my god.
Speaking of Carney, do you know who they need to bring back? Kizarni. 100%. There's a serious suggestion. As you can tell, clearly.
Kizarni in my head is in the same spot as Vampiro. These just weird gimmick dudes that were around for like that highly specific period of like invasion era, and then just went off to go do business in Mexico instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I know Vampiro
was
is
2009.
Kizarni was 2009?
Something like that, yeah. He was in the HD era.
Was he really in the HD era?
I think so.
Because I want to say it was 2007 or 8 where he had a match and then he was released like the same day, 5 minutes later.
Yeah, something like that. They ran promos hyping him up for like 2 months, maybe 3 months, and then he had a match and he was fired on the spot.
Kizarni was in WWE from 2006 to 2009.
All right.
He debuted in OVW in 2006. He was, let's see. He switched to FCW on October 13th, 2007. There are vignettes promoting him starting on October 10th, 2008 of SmackDown. He described his character as the love child of Jake the Snake Roberts and Doink. Now that's a disgusting affair. He made his in-ring debut on January 2nd, 2009, defeating MVP. He then appeared in the Elimination Chamber qualifying Battle Royal, but was eliminated early in the match. And then he had his last appearance on WWE TV, appearing in a backstage segment involving Vicky Guerrero and Edge on the February 20th, 2009 episode of SmackDown. On March 9th, he was released because he no-showed an event.
Ah.
He is a protege and close friend of Jake Roberts. I wonder where he got his Carney bullshit from.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Man, I had, in my head, Kizarni was 100% one of those, like, Invasion-era goobers, like, alongside, you know, Sean O'Hare and Chris Kanyon. Not to dunk on Chris Kanyon too bad.
Yeah.
Was Mark Jindrak an Invasion goober?
No, he was not, actually. I'm pretty sure he was
Chronic.
Chronic, yeah.
That match that they worked with Brothers of Destruction where Taker had to call audibles the entire match because Chronic didn't know what the fuck to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Wrestling is stupid. Wrestling is great. Men's Rumble. What else was really super like remarkable about the Men's Rumble? It was it needs to be needs to be said. Shout out to Bang Bus or whatever they're calling themselves now for actually working the tag team angle into
Fornication fraternity.
What? Fuck me. working the tag team angle into the Rumble match, and actually Sheamus and Drew not turning on each other and just working together as a team throughout the entire match.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good stuff.
Yeah. And conversely, New Day coming in and not bothering to work the tag team angle at all and literally slapping their asses instead.
Yeah.
I wish the
That-
new gimmick would
That was
die.
that was a spot.
I've been wishing for the last
By
10
now,
years.
By now, I've accepted all three of those men are going to retire as the New Day.
I haven't because two of those three have shown promise, and the third one was Xavier Woods. So
Xavier Woods is damn good. It's just that he's a goof and he's kind of a cretin backstage.
He's a nerd and a geek and a dork, and he should be fired.
Oh man. Either which way, yeah. Let's see, what else was there? Oh, okay. How did I not mention this? The fucking Baron Corbin spots.
Yeah.
Those were just great. So, Addy, at one point in the match, Brock gets eliminated, right? And Brock throws a hissy fit. He tears apart the announcer's table. He starts throwing around the ring stairs. And as he's going to walk back up the ramp, Baron Corbin is entering, right?
yeah,
So Brock, in a rage, just picks Baron up and F5s him, right?
yeah.
Next number comes up, it's Seth. Seth, who has something of a running feud with Corbin, right, Pink? Because Corbin beat up Becky at one point.
Yeah.
So Seth runs in, picks Baron Corbin up, who's pretty well knocked out outside the ring, pushes Baron in the ring, gets in there, picks Baron up, throws him right back over the top rope out of the ring. There goes Baron Corbin. That was his Rumble spot.
Nice.
Oh, man.
I
What was
think
the worst?
Yeah, go ahead.
How many people beat up Heath Slater outside the ring that one Rumble?
Oh yeah.
Like that's
2018, I think it was. Everybody. That was
Like,
that was the year. Actually, we've had two Rumbles land on Sheamus' birthday now that I am aware of, because that was the year where once everyone was done beating up Heath Slater on the way to the ring, Sheamus picks Slater up, throws him in the ring, and then as Sheamus is getting into the ring, Slater eliminates him in like 2 seconds.
yeah.
That was great. It's kind of predictable that they do that since he had a tag team championship match later on the night, but it was a good spot nonetheless. I liked it.
Yeah, still fun.
Yeah.
And I need a gif at some point of that spot of Heath, on the ground on the entrance ramp, writhing from the last guy that hit him. And Elias just walks through his guitar and casually kicks him a couple times as he's walking down.
Yeah.
God bless Heath. Down the years, I hated him 10 years ago, but down the years, I've grown to love him. Either which way, unless we can think of anything else to talk about there, the next match.
I mentioned something real quick about the Rumble. There weren't any surprises as you noted outside of the Booker T, Logan Paul, and whoever else was there. But this is one of two Rumbles that I can immediately remember. Well, not two. This one and the other one I can remember, where there was a participant who was scheduled to be the match, but didn't actually enter the match, and that was Macho Man Randy Savage back in the 1994, 95 Rumble, if I'm not mistaken.
I can think of two. Oh, wasn't that? Yeah, there was the Rumble where he never got to the ring because Crush Pearl Harbored him, right?
No. That was the year where he attacked Macho Man. Macho Man attacked himself at the Rumble.
Yeah.
For those not there, he attacked the Ultimate Warrior early in the show, and then the commentators wrote him off as having left the arena when his number came up, and he didn't show because he didn't want to get attacked by Ultimate Warrior in revenge. So
I see.
I didn't like that back in 1988. I didn't like that they had Rey Mysterio set to come out and not come out in the year of 2023. I thought it was dumb. I didn't like it. I hate it whenever they have an entrant that doesn't actually make it into the ring, because now we only had 29 participants instead of the full 30, and I feel robbed. And allegedly, Mysterio's out with an injury right now. That's why he didn't.
Cross hurt him supposedly.
Yeah, and like,
Boy,
do you
Cross
know
is
how
an
many other goobers you have backstage? You're telling me you couldn't put Gregory Helms to slap on his mask and throw him out in the ring real quick for a quick spot?
No.
too?
Gregory Helms.
No.
You're telling me Adam Pearce couldn't enter the Royal Rumble? You're
No.
telling me that none of the Brawling Brutes, because they were both there. We saw Butch. We saw.
Oh, actually, you're
This-
right. Not only are you right about that, but also Imperium. Neither Vinci nor Kaiser was ever in the
Yeah.
match.
You have a plethora of guys backstage just chilling and catering that could have entered the match instead of Mysterio. You know, it's like it'd be understandable. Granted that you did shoot yourself in the foot because you announced Mysterio ahead of time, like you shouldn't have. But I think we would have forgiven them for not giving us Mysterio and giving us literally anybody else. But instead, you just robbed us of a spot completely, and then tried to work Dominic into the angle. And it's just dumb. I don't like it.
I thought that working Dominic into it was great, actually.
No, because if he were able to actually tear up the mask on his way to the ring, it would have been fine. But he's a wimp and he couldn't, so it just looked dumb.
That's Dominic.
Fair enough.
Like, this is why it's great that they've given Dominic the gimmick that he's pathetic and sucks at everything. So the fact that he actually is pathetic and sucks at everything is just gimmick work.
Ah! The greatest gimmicks are just extensions of the characters themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
But that was my biggest major complaint about the Rumble. I didn't like that we were robbed of a spot.
By the way, shout out to, I follow X-Pac, Sean Waltman, 123 Kid, 6, whatever the hell you want to call him, on Twitter, and somebody asked him, hey, you gonna be in the Rumble? And X-Pac said, no, I like not having to work out and being able to eat what I want. Fuck off.
I've earned this. Shut up.
I am stuffing my face with cheesecake right now.
You can't stop me.
Just to spite you.
Oh, man.
I wasn't when you sent the message, but now I am.
With every passing decade, more and more new wrestling fans getting in will be more and more confused. Why is it called X-Pac Heat? What's the problem? He seemed like the one guy in the clique that no one had issues with.
Doggo, but I'll be right back.
All right.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I guess as a side note, I don't like it. I think it's starting or I don't know how to fucking build this up, but whatever. Like you know, one of the reasons that I haven't gotten back into wrestling properly just yet is because all the people that I know are still active in WWE. I dislike Baron Corbin, Roman Reigns. All right, like
Roman's so different from the last time you saw him, though.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I just have a hard time believing that, you know. Like the stuff that I've seen, because I have seen clips of him since then, and the stuff that I've seen was just Roman, which like yeah, I've seen Roman.
I don't really know what to tell you. To tell the truth, like the thing is, I missed out on the bad Roman years.
I mean, allegedly, I missed out on the bad Roman years too, because I stopped watching before he split, or you know, before Seth split the Shield up.
I don't see why you'd find Shield Roman so offensive then, other than just people.
I think he's boring. That's it. I just think he's really fucking boring.
I mean, the Shield, yeah, I thought the Shield was a very underwhelming gimmick, but they're all talented, well, two talented performers.
I thought they were overrated and boring, character-wise too. And then, like, you know, once again, character-wise, Roman could have changed, yeah. But the stuff I've seen wasn't anything to write home about. It was just like the basic character work. Whoop-de-doo.
Who?
Leaky.
Addie's saying that Roman literally hasn't changed since the Shield, and the Shield was the worst gimmick ever. Seth Rollins sucks donkey chode.
Oh.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose is the best wrestler ever. I love Kenny Omega.
Like, I mean, it's kind of like it's weird for me to like entirely explain it because I'm coming from like I was kind of in the same space where I didn't particularly like the Shield either. I thought they were pretty overrated. I thought their gimmick was lame. I thought it didn't make sense. What are they a Shield against? Why are they called the Shield?
My ass, boom boom.
Dean Ambrose was the one they built up as being the single star out of the three, and Dean Ambrose is not the best of the three.
Honestly, I kind of wish you just left that sentence as Dean Ambrose. And then just moved on.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose. Rollins and Reigns both clearly had not figured themselves out yet at all. Ambrose never bothered with figuring himself out. Ambrose just kind of kept doing what he kept doing. But Reigns now and Rollins now have both figured themselves out. They both have their gimmicks solidly worked out. They both know what kinds of matches they like to work. Which is Reigns is very solidly in the give the babyface hope of winning and then steal it from them at the end heel work. And Rollins is very much in the work rate 5-star match category.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both really good at it. Reigns really showed it off on the Rumble. There's a spot in his match that we'll get to. They both are solid promos. Rollins is a little bit better of a promo than Reigns. Reigns, no matter what, is still a little bit awkward, and Reigns still has that bad habit of he's an awkward smiler.
Yeah.
Like Reigns, I think everybody's experienced it at some point in their lives, some awkward moment where their face defaulted to smiling, and Reigns has that really badly.
Mm-hmm.
But Reigns is still pretty good. He's gotten, he's got tricks to deal with it, and you kind of learn to recognize the tricks over time, but still he has tricks to deal with it. And Reigns is in a really good place in terms of all that. And the booking around him has been really good. At the end of the day, a wrestler who you really don't like can still be booked into a really fun storyline.
Yeah.
And I will just point that out for right now, the Usos, who I very much do not like at all.
Yeah.
But the way they are being booked right now is fantastic. And I am tremendously interested in Jey Uso as a character, even though I don't like him as a worker. And there's the sound of silence where he's just going, bullshit.
I don't believe a word you're saying.
Look at these fuckers just drinking it directly from Triple H's fucking
drinking directly from Vince's tit.
Yeah.
Vince's called witch tit. It's all fucking shriveled up. It's disgusting.
Like Addy goes right now and sets up a soundboard that just says shill, and he just starts mashing it.
Just cut out the E and the L from the old children's show, so it just spells out shit.
All right. So
yeah, let's wrap up Men's Royal Rumble real quick. Number 1 was Gunther. Number 30 was Cody. I like that they had number 1 and 30 duke it out in the end. Finish was predictable, but I liked it.
And Gunther broke a record.
Yes, he broke Rey Mysterio's all-time 2000 whatever year Eddie died. 2006, I want to say.
2005, I think. I don't know.
Record.
Whatever.
Guerrero died in 2005, November, but the January Royal Rumble obviously took place in 2006. I'm pretty sure. So yeah. I don't remember what the previous record was. I don't know what the new record is, but I just know
Sean, almost
Gunther
certainly.
broke it. Yeah, and I'm
Ray, I
happy
want
with
to say.
it.
Ray, I want to say, was either in for 1 hour and 6 minutes or 1 hour and 9 minutes, and now Gunther's beat it at 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah. I want to say that I called it when they put Sheamus and Gunther in the ring first. I knew one of them was doing the Iron Man challenge. I didn't think it'd be both of them.
Yeah,
'Cause-
both of them in both matches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like legit, like the Women's Rumble, it was even stronger. The final two was the first two in the Women's Rumble.
Uh-huh.
Has that ever happened in a Rumble before?
Yes. The very first Royal Rumble that was won from the number 1 position. Number 1 was Shawn Michaels. Number 2 was British Bulldog. And Michaels
Bulldog
won
wasn't.
when he... Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That was the same Rumble that Michaels went over the top rope, but both feet did not touch the floor, and it ruined the rules for the rest of time. And after Michaels skinned the cat back into the ring, Bulldog was already celebrating the top rope corner, and Michaels pushed him out. So, yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yep.
I was thinking the final one other than Sean was like Sid or somebody weird like that.
Nope. Yeah. The very first men's Royal Rumble to be won from the number 1 position, and the very first women's Royal Rumble to be won from the number 1 position. Both featured the final 2 competitors from the number 1 and 2 positions. That's a interesting synchronicity there.
So is Rhea gonna be the female Shawn Michaels?
Pardon me?
Didn't Rhea win? I forget.
Yeah, Rhea won.
Yeah,
I just didn't understand what you said there.
Is she gonna be the female Shawn Michaels?
I'd be happy with that.
Is she gonna find God?
Well, that's a good question. Does she find God and they run a storyline of her versus Stephanie, and Stephanie goes into a church and she doesn't get it?
Stephanie fights God too.
Updated for modern times, because nowadays God is a woman, as some pop stars would have you believe.
Didn't Ariana have that song? I don't fucking remember.
It's either her or somebody else. I just don't remember any off the top of my head.
The person who made this either Ariana Grande or someone else.
Yeah.
has to be
I
one
can't
of
think
them.
of any other notable female celebrity singers right now. And by notable, I mean of the modern generation.
Dua Lipa, but
obviously
I'm not-
Shakira is always in the back of my mind, but I doubt she is all that relevant right now.
Dua Lipa, but I don't think she makes those sorts of music.
She comes close, but I actually like Dua Lipa, so I won't throw her under the bus.
And then I don't know any other pop singers.
I swear there's someone else that is like identical to Ariane, but I can't remember it.
Ariana Venti.
Doja Cat?
Yeah, maybe Doja Cat.
Isn't she more in the rap scene though?
I don't know. All I
There's
know
a lot
is
of crossover between that though, so understandable.
either which way. So yeah, that match that was after the men's Rumble match, huh?
Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight. Oh boy, I don't know why LA Knight decided to not walk out on the company that night, because that match sucked ass. 5 years of my life gone. I will never get that back, and I will never forgive Bray Wyatt for coming back and subjugating me to this horror.
I will never forgive Triple H for employing Bray Wyatt.
No.
That is Ted has been unironically saying that for 3 months now.
The only bright side to this is we were sponsored by Mountain Dew, so we actually made money off this match rather than spending it. So that's good. Triple H found a way to make the Bray Wyatt come back good for the fans and good for the wallet as well, since Vince could never figure that one out.
Triple H found the only way to make it so Bray Wyatt actually draws.
Yeah.
I just want every Bray Wyatt match going forth to be a 5-minute sponsored match.
He just like all of his matches are themed around Mountain Dew from now on.
Well, fuck it. At this point, each Bray Wyatt match is a garbage match, and the garbage is themed equipment for the sponsor.
Yeah.
Product placement.
No,
Like, there should have been a spot where Bray Wyatt picked up 2 Mountain Dews and smashed them together like Austin and draped them over his face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this match was a fucking abortion.
That frickin' sucked.
Like-
I hate everything about it. The worst part is, now LA Knight is off TV because he's got to sell the injuries. That's
Yeah.
like the worst possible outcome anyone could have asked for. This is a disgrace. This is blasphemy. God himself will descend from the heavens and punish those responsible. And I hope it happens soon.
we need
Bring on the rapture!
We need a clip of Lamont going no. Or nope.
Nope.
Oh,
Like, he
man.
says yeah.
Bray Wyatt done did it again.
What a menace.
Bray Wyatt
just
refuses to be unemployed for some reason.
Bray Wyatt is just really good at convincing people there's something more going on than what is actually going on.
Bray Wyatt has watched 3 entire arc series on YouTube. He has now become the master of storytelling.
Oh, fuck.
One of them was even Everyman Hybrid.
I want to work the Scott Steiner he's fat voice line in here somehow, but I forget how Discord works and I'm too lazy to do it. So just know that in my heart I want to do it, but it's not going to happen.
Dash
Not by my
SB and then Steiner Fat for that one.
Yeah, but where do I type it? Do I just type it in random channel thread? Because then it'll talk to everybody and they'll be very
I
confused.
mean, you can just type it into the voice text.
Oh,
The
that's right.
voice text, I know what you mean, but that still sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's SB what?
Dash SB and then Steiner Fat.
Oh, dash SB.
If you
Dash SB.
if you just write dash SB, then it should give you all of the possible
Steiner.
sounds.
I type in Steiner, nothing comes up.
Yeah, we just have to
That's right,
remember these
dude.
ones. It doesn't autocomplete.
Oh, it's got to be capitalized and not one word. So let me try that again. Don't worry, guys. It's coming. You can keep talking though.
All right.
Nah.
So Bray Wyatt,
I mean-
he's well known for one thing. Yeah,
I mean, like,
there we go.
there we go. I mean, yes, he is, but the issue I have with Bray is not his girth. I'm not,
Yeah.
you know,
No,
You're
I
not
like
Ted.
the big boys. Clearly, I've made this well known in the past.
like, no, I don't think any of us here are like, you know, the Ted thing where anytime he sees a wrestler over, you know, so and such BMI, you just start doing Dragon Balls shouting and yelling.
Yeah,
Like the Super Saiyan charge or whatever. Ted just does that every time he sees, you know, Kevin Owens, let's say.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. No. My issue with Bray Wyatt is pretty much the same
At his
issue.
house.
Like my issue with Bray Wyatt is the same issue I have with Roman Reigns. The only difference is Roman Reigns actually gets sales. Like Roman Reigns has made money. So like, yeah,
Bray does sell merch, but he's terrible for the show itself.
yeah. Like once again, I think Roman Reigns is
Just
boring
keep
and
him
whatever.
doing fucking promos.
Yeah,
Keep him out of the fucking ring.
make him a fucking manager.
Yeah,
That
a
would be
manager-
great. He'd be a great manager for like a modern day take on the Dungeon of
Hell.
Doom. But
Hell, isn't
Paul
his dad
Bearer.
IRS?
Paul
Wait,
Bearer.
yeah,
yeah,
but
Just make Bray Paul Bearer.
whatever.
Keep him
But
out of the fucking
dumb joke.
ring. He
But yeah.
doesn't even like wrestling.
He doesn't.
have you seen him wrestle? There's no way he does.
He does like 3 moves.
Well, no, I know he does 3 moves, but I thought he did them for more reason other than that's what I get paid for.
Give me that fat paycheck, boyo.
Yeah, like just make him a fucking manager. Give him like give him Karrion Kross. I was gonna say Malachi, but Malachi is with AEW. That's why I call him Malachi.
The trouble is, we can't be for certain that Karrion Kross doesn't have sex with whoever his manager is at a given time. So you don't want him cheating on Charlotte Bordeaux.
I
This is
don't
true.
know.
Also, for a second fact, Karrion Kross freaking sucks.
I mean,
Hey, that's a
yeah,
lateral
then it's a
move.
match made in heaven, ain't it?
No, it
Lateral
isn't.
Move. Lateral move.
You're trying to match the good side of Bray Wyatt up with a guy who doesn't have good sides.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of people with spooky gimmicks, and like the first two modern wrestlers that come to mind are him, which like he sucks, but the other one is Aleister Black, and he's in AEW, so it'll be hard.
Aleister Black also doesn't need anyone to talk for him.
Yeah, that's also
That's
true.
Bray Wyatt should be put on some jabroni coming up from NXT.
Yeah.
What's the fucking Neanderthal doing?
Von Wagner?
Yeah, what's he doing?
Losing lately.
Put him under a mask. He's so damn ugly. Put him under a mask, have him wrestle, and Bray Wyatt manages him. There you go. Money.
Yeah.
And tell Von Wagner not to kill anyone by doing stupid spots of throwing people from the ring to the fucking announce table.
And also make sure he doesn't kill anyone in the crowd accidentally either.
Those we might be able to deal with. Depends on where the show is. If we do it in Japan, we can get away with it. They don't care. They like it.
That's what they're paid for.
If
They
it
love
happens, if it happens during Crown Jewel, depending on who it is, we might get a raise.
it.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. Yeah, that match was just terrible. Everything about it. We did 3 moves. LA Knight got in no offense, even though he's the vastly superior wrestler of the two. Took no time at all for it to turn into a garbage match, and not one with any particularly cool spots. Shout out to Bray Wyatt busting out a toolbox, throwing it in the ring, and never using it.
Nice.
The psychology.
Because the toolbox should be like a super scary deadly weapon, because, I mean, if you ever fucking pulled up a toolbox that's full of things, it's heavy.
They're friggin' heavy as hell. And then once you open it up, it's got tons of sharp instruments inside.
Yeah,
And we got none of that.
yeah.
They didn't
Yeah.
even load it up with the green stuff. The Mountain Dew pitch black.
Yeah, a toolbox full of Mountain Dew. They should have done that.
Yeah.
That's the gamer toolbox.
Yeah.
You put it in there with your wrist support, your fight stick, and your gamer girl bathwater.
What fight stick? Gamers don't use fight sticks. No, you put it with your fucking
Adderall.
yeah, your NyQuil. Fuck it.
That goes is the opposite of what you want. What do you do if someone shows up to Evo
With
and they're in the
NyQuil.
middle of a match and they fall asleep?
Yeah.
Clearly taking this $1,000 money match very seriously here.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's falling over onto the other opponent. They're both knocked.
Is this legal?
And they both fall asleep, and Woolie's on commentary, and he's like, "Oh my God, the
The
respect."
footsies. The footsies. Yeah.
Oh no, wait. Both players have simply fallen asleep. Never mind, folks.
The mind games.
Oh boy.
Evil brought through by Dayquil, enemy of the NyQuil, champion of the sun.
Well, hang on. What do we do with the lyrics though when we get to that part where it's about his uncle raping him?
I don't know.
Oh boy. Yeah, that match. Can I just say, what a perfect way to end that match. That it ends with the hokiness of Bo Dallas coming out there and doing a stage dive onto LA Knight.
So stupid.
And Kevin Dunn trying to protect Bo Dallas by filming at a bad angle there to cover up for the crowd footage, which showed that Bo missed LA Knight by a county
By a
mile.
mile. Uh-huh.
Oh, it was terrible.
Uh-huh.
They should just team up fucking Dallas with Riddle and call him Bro Dallas. Fuck it.
Like like credit where credit's due. Okay, Ronda versus Liv is no longer the worst match of the Triple H era.
Yeah.
At least they had a couple neat ideas, and Liv was willing to take some crazy bumps. But there you go, that was it.
You know, I was gonna
Oh,
this is one of those things where like I was gonna make a joke about the only way that I actually like that I get to make references to current stuff with wrestling stuff by referencing the NL simulation. That's obviously not true.
yeah.
But like I actually don't know if that match's ending was worse than the real one, because at least in that one it made some sense. That was built up. That
Oh,
fucking
boy.
but yeah. What do they even call Bo anymore? Uncle Howdy?
Yeah. Uncle
Yeah.
Howdy.
Yeah, Mr. Hanky.
Yeah. I'd rather see a giant turd walk to the ring.
I mean, they killed off Ribby, so
Dallas-
we can't anymore.
Well, actually, Alex, in fairness, we see Bray Wyatt walk down the ring several times now.
Yeah,
Hey now.
you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go
No, we
play.
aren't. Shut up. Okay, so the match after that would have been the worst one on the card, but oh boy, did it get lucky to follow this one up.
Well, okay. Oh, let me open up Wikipedia and see what you're talking about. Yeah. I must
Alexa
be
Bliss.
honest. I love Bianca Belair. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I love her ring work. I love her character work. I love everything about her. I think she's a major star. I don't agree with many of our forum goers or Discord goers that say that her luster is wearing off. But, maybe it is.
Well,
I
I'm
could
gonna
be
go
wrong.
ahead and there are certain members in our group who say that because they just want to see someone else pushed in favor.
Right. What about that Cora Green chick in NXT? She's so good.
Yeah, God bless that guy. He comic books, movies, video games, wrestling. He is consistently. I want my fucking guy pushed, and I'm going to say that everything else is bullshit until I see my guy pushed. Hobgoblin, worst comic book character ever. Where the fuck is Felicia Hardy?
Where the fuck is Mr. Negative?
Where is he? Where is he? I
He's-
don't get it.
How
too-
lazy can you be?
He's making fucking internet reviews. Too busy.
What's a stellar cornerstone of the Marvel villainous not cinematic, of the comic universe? I don't understand.
I like how we just added a small
Spider-Man's
fucking
history can be split up into two time periods:
Pre-negative
pre-Mr. Negative
and
and
post-negative,
post-Mr.
yeah.
Negative.
Like, I also just like how Mr. Negative was improved considerably by just us giving him a shitty, bullshit, dumb joke gimmick of him being an internet reviewer on the side. And he's a much more fun character. What the hell?
Like he's still not interesting, but now at least he's funny.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, back to the topic at hand. I love Bianca Belair. I used to be a big fan of Alexa Bliss. I loved her ring work back in the day. Ever since she turned face or joined the Bray Wyatt nonsense, I didn't like her at all. But she's still got talent underneath it all. So, despite the fact that I enjoy both these women, I did not watch this match at all. I was talking with you guys on Discord and ignored it completely until it was over, and I was like, "Oh wait, this match happened." So, I honestly can't speak on anything that happened in this match because I probably missed it all.
So this match was stunningly mediocre. Alexa has slowed down bad since the little bits of footage I've seen from her in her prime.
Yeah.
It's not just getting changed to bad gimmicks. I think probably the years of wear and tear have been more brutal on her body than most.
She's like 5 foot nothing, and she's already suffered several pretty major injuries, so it's not surprising that she slowed down, taking it
Because
more carefully.
she's not doing the insult to injury anymore. She's not doing the Twisted Bliss anymore.
Ah.
Her finish now is just either the kick out DDT or the Sister Abigail, which are both considerably lamer than the insult to injury and the Twisted Bliss.
Yeah.
I mean, does at least the kick out DDT look good?
No,
Not by her.
Oh.
She forgets to do the kick out sometimes, so sometimes it's just a DDT.
Oh. Because I was like, hey, maybe at least I get a cool new animation. No. I guess
No.
not.
No.
And the quality of a DDT is more dependent on the person receiving than the person giving, generally, as well.
True.
Because there are some, like Rob Van Dam taking a DDT, oh my god, that's death. You know, Ricochet taking a DDT, oh my god, how could she have killed him? Conversely, you know, especially like Bianca's not a bad seller, but she's not a particularly good one either.
Right.
Like,
Add
put her,
that to the fact that she's several feet taller than most of the women she's facing.
several feet taller, like she's Andre.
Oh, well, when you're facing the 3-foot Alexa Bliss, she might as well be.
Why does Bianca, the largest of the WWE women's division, not simply eat the other women?
Yeah.
No, because literally, she did the same corner 10 count punch that Charlotte did back in the day to Alexa Bliss. And I was going to make the same joke, and I was like, that would be a lot more effective if you weren't making it harder for yourself to hit the person in the head.
Well, you know what was worse than that? Alexa is so tiny. It's supposed to be that when you do the 10 count punch, your balls are in the opponent's face to prevent them from walking out, right? Or in this case, vagina.
Right.
Well, Alexa's so short, she could legitimately just walk out.
Yeah. Her head is like maybe between the calves or the knees.
Yeah. Like, it's just like walking through the arch.
Uh-huh.
But nonetheless, Bianca won, so that hopefully means, okay, let's take Alexa out for a minute. If Alexa's just so hurt she can't really work anymore, she may have to go just, whatever, side act with Bray. Sad as it is to say.
I'm still gonna say Alexa should be given the assistant gimmick.
What?
Think knows what I'm talking about.
I was looking at
You
it.
sitting over here, it just sounds like you're sexist.
And I didn't hear what you said. Could you repeat that?
The assistant gimmick. When I said that they make her act like a personal assistant, like she's the fucking Amazon thing, the robot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, that's different.
Yeah.
I thought for a minute there, I was like, I knew this wasn't what you meant, but it sounded like you were just saying, "What this? Look at this old hag. She can't do anything anymore. Just make her somebody's personal assistant."
Oh no! Just have people just call out into the ether, "Hey Alexa," and then she just shows up.
Like, just make Alexa a secretary, whatever.
No.
Broads, you don't know what to do with them.
I'm not dead yet.
It was Muda that wanted to get rid of the women's division altogether, to be fair.
Yeah.
Either which way. Yeah, speaking of the women's division, the next match, the Women's Rumble. Now, that one was a great one.
I love this match. Yeah.
Yeah, just loads of fun all around.
Yeah, I was enjoying it a lot more than the men's Rumble, but
Most of the bad women on the roster were either eliminated immediately or just sat down for the whole match, which is the way it should be.
yeah.
We've got some solid workhorses here. Yeah, Shotzi, don't worry. You can sit down. Let Yoshirai do the work.
Mm-hmm. Part of me, that's Sky. Sky now. Don't you forget it. Put some respect on that name, because nobody else will.
Dude, it took me so much work to switch Walter to Gunther, and Io Sky's close enough to Yoshirai. I'm just going to keep calling her Yoshirai. Shout out to Damage Control again, actually working the heel stable gimmick into the match and being assholes eliminating a ton of faces.
Shout out to Michelle McCool who joined the match from the crowd. I don't even know if she's got paid for this.
She wasn't
I don't know
scheduled.
the band just queued up her
She
music. 'cause
wasn't
she was
warned
there.
ahead of time. It just started playing her music, and she was like, "Oh fuck!"
No, she
I mean,
wasn't.
maybe Layla was supposed to come out, but we don't know. Michelle
Yeah.
McCool was just close to the ring, so she took advantage of it.
Like, they didn't schedule Michelle to be in the Rumble. She just jumped the barricade and ran in.
Yeah, Michelle
They-
McCool is the new one-woman Shield.
Yeah, I mean they should fucking do it. That would be a good like return angle for someone to like not hit the music or anything. They just jump the barricade and run into the Rumble.
I don't
Okay.
think they've ever done that with the Rumble, but yeah, that is a classic.
Yeah. Pillman did that twice. In
Yeah.
ECW and WWE.
If it ain't broke.
Oh man. And the big highlight, I think, even more than, Rhea or Liv or the two who actually came close to winning the match, Asuka.
Asuka. Crazy clown Asuka. Yeah.
She looks like she's having fun again.
Did
Like,
she ever look like she wasn't having fun?
I don't know, it seemed a little bit when her and Alexa were being just kind of the side acts to Bianca, that she was kind of just like going through the motions a little bit. Not as bad
Well,
as
in
Alexa.
fairness, she's getting paired up with Alexa in that situation. Nobody wants that.
Nobody
Yeah,
wants to be
Alexa
paired
was-
up with Alexa.
But Alexa was definitely a bad case of going through the motions there.
I'm just imagining Alexa in her clown makeup, standing outside the window. Got to the inside, Bray going shoo, go away.
Oh man. Yeah, Asuka was
Oh.
hyper dominant in the match, and she pulled out the Muda Mist. Oh
Yeah.
that's always a pop. Not only did she pull out the Muda Mist, it was a mist Muda Mist.
Yeah.
Did you see the finish to the women's match, Addy?
No.
All three of the women, the last three were Rhea, Liv, and Asuka. All three of them were on the apron. Asuka goes to mist Rhea. Rhea ducks it, so Asuka mists Liv instead.
Ah, nice.
Rhea does like a 619, but in the opposite direction, from out of the ring to in the ring, smacking Asuka off the apron.
Like
She goes to take Liv out on the apron. Liv actually just starts swinging mad while blind, nearly takes her out, and then Rhea barely grabs onto the ropes, skins the cat, and head scissors Liv, and takes her out to the floor, and it made a very nasty bump because Liv Morgan is a crazy woman.
Ah,
Liv's got a bit more meat on her bones than Alexa, but Liv in 5 years is going to be in Alexa territory of like, what?
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. It's like, it's all fun and games now when you don't really feel it the next day or the day after. I mean, it's kind of there. But 5 years from now, good lord, she needs to slow down with the bumps because it's all going to add up, and you've only got a few of those you can take.
yeah.
Yeah, Alexa's sitting backstage there going tisk tisk.
Alexa Bliss's new gimmick is being the ghost of wrestling future.
I gotta mention this, and I'm sorry because I know it's your girl, Pink, but Nia Jax coming in there and just not taking the Riptide at all. The Riptide is not a great move. I'm not like Ted.
It's
right,
not good. It's not good at all. And well, since I am a Nia Jax fan, I will say that wasn't her fault at all, and that was Rhea's fault because she should have known better than to try to lift a very large woman in a pump handle slam power bomb an hour into the match.
Nia didn't give her much, but at the same time, it's like, okay, don't go for this move that requires a lot of balance on a woman who is 75% blubber.
Right. Requires balance, requires power, requires you to flip them around just a little bit, and Nia's a little ball or a big ball, and getting her in the pump handle position, then flipping her over, power bomb, it's just not going to work out. it was not logical. I don't know why she tried it. It was a bit disappointing that she couldn't pull it off because it would have been a great power spot had she been able to. Well, I would have had her do literally any other move outside of the Riptide as a feat of strength because I don't like the Riptide as is, and it's
She
never
should,
looked
she should
good.
really hump them
Like-
before she picks them up in the pump handle slam.
Right, but at that point, just fall
Established
into the actual
dominance.
slam and not the power bomb because the power bomb is really where it all falls apart.
Well, for a second I thought you were saying the bomb wasn't the damage, like Rhea humping them was the damage.
Yeah. She just looks you into the pump handle hold, humps you, and then lets go, and you die. You just fall over.
Like Viscera doing it back in the day, where it's supposed to be he breaks your back by humping you so bad. I guess.
I guess.
She does it, and Nia Jax taps out.
Yeah.
Uh,
I popped so hard when Nia Jax came out before the buzzer even went off because they messed that up. It was a thing of beauty there.
oh yeah, that the tech team back there screwed that one up pretty bad. Like, all right, the timer is counted down. Number 30 should now enter, except that number 30 is already in the ring. I again shout out to the psychology of everyone else seeing Nia come to the ring and going, you know what? Actually, you know what? For now, you and me are cool, Becky. Let's beat the fuck out of Nia.
Right. I'm on the
Like, it's
Wikipedia
simultaneously
page
acknowledging,
still,
okay, Nia's a beast and should get the primary amount of the focus, but it's also kind of dealing with there's gonna be a lot of people who ain't happy to see Nia back.
Right. They're all fools. I'm on the Wikipedia right now, and I'm looking at who eliminates who and whatnot. And yeah, Nia Jax eliminated by everyone.
Yeah, eliminated by everyone. Yes. Fucking Cole and Pat McAfee and Corey Graves hopped into the ring elevator.
They weren't allowing that. No.
Even the back came out.
Yeah, Kevin Dunn doing a running up the ramp.
Yeah.
Triple H coming out of Gorilla.
Triple H coming out of retirement. Just eliminate Nia Jax.
Triple H overexerts himself from eliminating Nia Jax, has a heart attack, but as he's dying, he says, it was worth it.
Yeah.
Remember my sacrifice.
They build a statue to Triple H out at the front of Connecticut headquarters, and it just at the bottom says, and this is why we must fight against the Jax. Oh, man. Yeah, very fun women's Royal Rumble match. That boy, like, it's just hilarious how this year it specifically worked out as, oh yeah, both my boy and my girl won the Rumbles this year.
Right? Yeah.
Fuck everyone else. I'm eating good.
I walked home happy. I don't care
Yeah.
about you guys.
I think I got that in at some point during Ted, swearing and fucking flipping his ass out.
This is the end of professional wrestling as we know it.
That's
Why
it.
has
It's
God allowed this?
I'm only ever going to come into the wrestling part of the Discord now to say that it sucks and you are all dumb, like Rocky.
You mean he didn't?
I think the Roman Sammy segment saved us another month of Ted.
Yeah.
Once WrestleMania 39 rolls around, though, I think we'd all do good to mute the wrestling Discord for about a year.
Already ahead of you.
I mean, we're gonna be coming up on a menace to begin with, like within a day or two, and Roxanne loses the fucking NXT Women's Belt. That we're gonna be having some problems there.
I am going to go all out in my support for Roxanne, in spite of everyone.
Excuse you, you don't need to do that meme. Gog's already doing it.
No, Gog hates Roxanne. It's the other one that he likes.
Oh, well, I can't tell them apart anyways.
Coral Jade.
Is Roxanne really worth it, though? Like, I think there are better NXT women to meme about.
But there are none that are prevalent like her.
I mean...
I meme on
Nikita's-
Nikita Lyons a lot, but she's injured most of the time. And they don't have any strong opinions about that one.
I mean, they don't have strong opinions about her because she's injured. I guarantee you that Nikita, if she comes back, Ted will be super mad about her. I mean,
How
I'll be
so?
honest. I think Ted's way more opinionated about Rhea than ordinarily he would be about other people, because Rhea is super close to being Ted's type, but then she isn't. Right? Like, I think that
Right.
makes him more mad.
Right.
And Nikita, I think, is almost in that same space where she's close to being a Ted type, but no.
Close, but she's terrible in the ring.
Yeah.
Travesty.
Depends on what you're looking for in the ring.
It's true. She's A-okay in my book.
Does she do the rear view?
No, not yet,
Then
but
how?
she should.
Then how is she going to
she
your
does
book?
it.
She
does it
she
to
does
her-
it from a not grounded. She does it to a grounded opponent, kind
Ah,
of.
okay.
She does Naomi's old leg split pin. And more importantly, she does not use it as a finish. Her finish is a DDT or a roundhouse kick first, and then she just kind of does the leg split pin after.
Ah,
It's kind of like the People's Elbow, right? The People's Elbow isn't
Yeah.
Rock's actual finish. She'd just throw it on after a rock bottom.
It's for the psychological damage.
Yeah. Nothing adds psychological damage like Nikita slamming down her fucking ass and genitals right into your face. Because my god, do they jiggle everywhere when she does it. So you know that, like, at least one of the women that she's had to practice against has just been slapped right in the face with ass cheek. And, like, they're just, like, doing the afterwards, and Nikita just turns around like, what? All right.
Finally, a worthy successor to the bonsai drop.
Yeah. I don't imagine she'll kill as many jobbers as Yoko did with that. How many examples are there in wrestling of moves like Yoko doing the bonsai drop, where it's like, if he likes you, then it's a perfectly safe move. If he's decided he doesn't care tonight, or if he don't like you,
Your career's over. And so is your life, potentially.
because, like, there are a couple moves I can think of where, like, you could absolutely kill somebody you don't like, but, like, Scott Steiner never botched the screwdriver, did he?
Not that I'm aware of.
Because if Scott didn't like you and he did the screwdriver, he could kill you, but I don't think he ever did. Triple H, it wasn't a thing of him not liking people. It was just at first, like, he just didn't care. I don't think he didn't care, but, like, there is such a vast difference from the early pedigree where it's just, I'm not bothering to protect you at all, and the late pedigree that's super safe.
Right, yeah. Your arms are locked and your face is going down. How you handle that is up to you, but I'm getting my shit in. And then fast forward to like 2010s era Triple H. All right, your arms are hooked, but once I jump, I'm letting go. I will be dropping to my knees. How you take the fall is up to you. I don't care.
Well, it's like, past a certain point, the safe pedigree really isn't a face buster. It's really more of like an arm buster, because no one's ever going to actually land on their face with a safe pedigree.
Right.
And it's always the thing in the WWE games of, get in there. Okay, do we have an unsafe pedigree animation this year? Okay, we're putting that on Hunter and Stephanie. And Seth, and Cody, and Jesus, how many people
I
are taking
can't
pedigree?
believe they've never reanimated Seth's pedigree because that one sucks. I hate it. They have him do the little arm flailing about, and it just looks dumb.
Oh, yeah. See, I always forget that is Seth's pedigree. I always think of that as Vince's pedigree. And I always go into Seth and change it to it, like, do we have an unsafe pedigree this year? All right, I'm putting that on Seth.
Yep.
Like, another one, any wrestler that has a brain buster. Okay, time to go in and swap out all the safe brain busters for blatantly, horribly unsafe spike brain busters.
Yeah. I mean, look, it ain't real. They don't gotta product shit.
Like, I don't think that, let's say, Daniel Bryan ever did an unsafe brain buster in his career. Nonetheless, let's give him that Coco Beware, kill the jobber brain buster. All right. So then the last match, the big one, the Addy tune-out one. It's Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. So the match itself I thought was solid. Nothing particularly remarkable for either man, but solid.
Yeah, just your standard affair between the two.
The shout-out spot was Kevin botching the best moonsault ever.
Yeah.
And Roman actually improvising, and as Kevin was in the middle of falling down the turnbuckle, Roman rolls over so that Kevin still lands on him.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, because there's a distinct chance Kevin could have hurt himself there. I love the best moonsault ever, but it's one of those moves that it's like, okay, Kev, maybe you might want to save that for just WrestleMania and nothing else, man.
Right.
Like, you've got the frog splash and the swanton. You don't need 3 top rope moves.
But he's a high flyer.
Man, you don't... Addy, did you ever see footage of Kevin Steen on the Indies doing the 450?
No.
He did the 450 back in the day.
No.
Yeah.
Remember when people said that his WWE name would be Stephen Keen?
Ah! That would be great, though. I mean, like, the Owen Hart tribute is obviously better, but still. Wait. Did you say Stephen Keen or Stephen King?
Keen.
Okay, because King would be even funnier, but you'd probably get sued for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the meat of what matters with that match was what happened after.
Yeah. This was a real main event.
Yeah. The storyline continuing, yes. And it was, it's such a one that I don't want to, like, fully explain. And I guess we haven't been fully explaining everything that's happened prior to this. So I guess it's just like, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's all over the Twitters and the YouTubes. You can see it. Or just watch the pay-per-view yourself if you've got the Peacocks. And Addy, I believe I've already explained it to you and you don't care either which way. So, it happened.
It happened.
So this was like the moment that the whole storyline was built around. This is like the one that goes directly in the history books, will be played in the documentaries 8 million times, will be played in the clip shows 8 million times. This is, for all intents and purposes, the peak of Sammy's career and almost certainly the peak of Roman's, too.
Yeah. Definitely the peak of Bloodline here.
I mean, Sammy is... It's just so bizarre to look back a year ago at Sammy there and now Sammy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like... Could you imagine if you had just in our circle of friends, which admittedly we have a very critical, cynical circle of friends that derives a lot of joy from telling people no and telling people that they're dumb. But nonetheless, could you imagine going back in time a year or just later to WrestleMania 38 and saying, solid, the biggest star in the company after Roman,
You
if
cut out,
not a
I think.
star than Roman. What?
You cut out, I think. You just start saying and then solid.
Well, it's the noise canceling on Discord doesn't
Ah.
like some noises I make.
I see.
I probably should go in and manually tone that down at some point.
Yeah.
But either which way, yeah, like just go back in time and say like all this is going on, and the most solid candidate to end Roman's World Championship run is Sammy. And like for a minute there, I was going, nah, putting the belt on Sammy would kill him, but I'm not so sure now.
Yeah.
I'm buying into the hype.
Yeah.
Like, this storyline has been done so well. Like, it's obviously, I would be saying, between this and also, you know, his health things and stuff like that, it almost kind of feels like it's kind of like once Roman's done with this, he just wraps up and goes home. Like, all right, later, boys.
Yeah.
Send me the Legends contract in the mail.
Yeah.
I mean-
How much higher can you go from this?
And I mean, like, I wouldn't blame Roman because he should put his health. Like, if he should leave if he needs to, you know?
Well, I mean, he's definitely... Roman's either dropping the title to... I would not be shocked... Okay, so they did announce on SmackDown it's going to be Roman versus Sammy at Elimination Chamber. And they're already building up Roman versus Cody, so Sammy's not going to win at Chamber. But what do you think are the odds that it's a fucked finish at Elimination Chamber and the one-on-one match at WrestleMania gets turned into a three-way, right?
Yeah, it'll turn into the Sammy and Cody against Roman handicap match that G-Man wanted.
I mean, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is going to be an awkward example because obviously one of the people involved in this is an awful person, but this happened before WrestleMania 20. Benoit in the mix with the HHH and HBK, and then it happened again at WrestleMania 30 with Daniel Bryan, Batista, and Orton. It doesn't repeat, but it rhymes, right?
Yeah.
It's difficult to say. Everyone knows I'm a Cody mark, and I'd be so happy to see him win the World Championship. But if he won it right now, it's difficult to say because the main event stuff has just been booked so well in all regards.
Yeah.
So I do believe Triple H has it. Whoever it is, like whoever is booking right now, I think could make Cody as champ something that could work. But Pink, you go on with what you were saying, and I was talking over.
That's fine. What I was saying was that it's a conflicting feeling I have between Cody and Sammy, because Sammy as a guy makes so much more sense from a story perspective, from everything they've been building up towards. And I love Cody, but he almost feels like he doesn't belong in the story. He's just...
Cody's an alien.
Yeah. It's like he came from out of nowhere, you know, number 30.
He came from outer
coming
space.
back from the fifth dimension. From the fifth dimension, he came back, won the Royal Rumble, and now he's just sort of inserted into a great storyline that is already ongoing. And he doesn't feel like he really belongs there. It feels like something entirely extra that doesn't make a lot of sense right now, whereas Sammy makes all the sense in the world. So it's a very conflicting feeling there on that I have.
Yeah. And like, I mean, maybe they could like work into it around Rhodes versus Anoa'i legacies, right?
Right.
But that would still kind of leave Sammy out, unless like Sammy and Cody team up or something like that. But even then, you know, it could be built up as the legacy of two great families. But then it's the one with no family legacy that wins in the end.
Yeah,
It's
Right.
blood.
I just thought of this, and I think that it's a Vince booking thing, so it might not happen. But if Vince was still in creative control, then I would expect them to go the way of Sami wins at Mania, and then after that he has a feud with Cody, and he's a transitional champion between Reigns and Cody.
The trouble with that is that they both be faces.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way Sammy's turning heel anytime in the next fucking year. Like, unless Sammy just crashes and burns horribly after the Bloodline gimmick ends. Like, Sammy's just gonna be over for... Well, I mean, I guarantee you this storyline has earned Sammy countless hundreds of thousands of dollars in post-retirement money from just being able to make appearances.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's again, just so weird to think about that now Sammy is qualifiable as one of the biggest stars of this era of wrestling. And it's fucking El Generico.
Yeah, and you know, like going forward, they should just like whenever they talk about fucking I don't know my family heritage, they should bring up Sammy. Just continue the gimmick.
I mean, it's gonna be a classic thing for me in every WWE game going forward. Is going to be I'm going to put the Bloodline back together in every WWE game now. Like I always put together a few old stables. I'll put together the Ministry if I can. I'll put together either DX or Evolution if I can.
Mm.
I'm going to be putting the Bloodline back together now. The NWO. What the fuck are you going to do with WCW Kevin Nash other than make the NWO again, right?
Yeah.
Or just make him not wrestle. It works.
But WCW Kevin Nash is the coolest Kevin Nash.
I don't like any Kevin Nash.
How dare you?
You don't have a.
I liked Kevin Nash.
I need to memorize the TNA Cruiserweight promo bit.
Yeah. But yeah, like I liked Kevin Nash in 2011 when he came back against Punk and then just won, if memory serves, in the ladder match. And I liked him. Yeah, go ahead.
They didn't have the Punk Nash match at all. Do you not remember? They had to.
No.
There was some goofy bullshit that happened where they had to swap out Punk with Hunter in the feud.
Oh, right.
So it wound up being a ladder match of Nash and Hunter. And
great ladder match competitors in 2011.
Yeah, like Nash.
And it's not even a normal ladder match. It's a ladder match to retrieve a sledgehammer, which then you can legally use. And that doesn't make sense. That's a WCW match right there.
Yeah.
That's a Vince
Maybe
Russo
Kevin
match.
booked it himself.
Yeah, I was about to say Nash booked it.
Oh man, it's like, okay, Hunter back in the day maybe could have done a good ladder match. That was the start of the bad Hunter years.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that was what. That's definitely one of the more, like, it's not one that people bring up compared to the obviously more humorous Katie Vick or Mark Henry gives birth to a hand. Oh, no, Mae Young gives birth to.
I want to see that gimmick now.
That's even worse. Oh boy. Obviously, it doesn't compare to those.
And gives birth to Mark Henry.
Mark Henry gives birth to Mark Henry?
No, gives birth to Mark Henry. Not baby Mark Henry, mind you. Like completely fully 45-year-old Mark Henry.
So I would say that's definitely though up there as one of the worst like Vince what the fuck booking decisions, right? In terms of just making a match.
Yeah.
Kevin had annihilated knees and lower back 10 years before that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, the only era of Nash I could see that working would be the hyper early era of Nash, way back when he didn't even work the big man style. When he was a 7-foot guy trying to act like a brawler who was, 6 feet.
Right.
Oh boy, Jesus, what a stupid idea. That's the. Anyways, yes, I also saw SmackDown last night. There wasn't a lot that was super remarkable about it. They did announce. They did confirm. Okay, Roman versus Sammy at the Elimination Chamber. Specifically, they confirmed it after Sammy did a run-in on Roman while he was in the ring, talking about how little Sammy matters to him, and Sammy did the spear, complete with the Roman howl afterwards, which I thought was nice because it's like, what are we gonna ask Sammy to try and do the haluva kick in a run-in?
Yeah. He just starts doing the standing Yakuza kick. Fuck it.
Yeah, that actually would be kind of cool, but nonetheless, it was cool when Chono did it.
Oh, sorry, Mafia kick.
Oh yeah, the Mafia kick, the natural follow-up, the cousin move to the Sicilian elbow.
Yeah.
Oh man. And specifically, what they had was Roman after Jimmy and Solo did the run-in and beat him up. Roman said, "You tore my family apart, so I'll tear you apart in front of your own family in Montreal," which was a good line. Good line. Roman's lines are all better once he's not reading off a script. Weird.
Yeah.
Look, Stephanie hired all of these interns straight out of college. They need to
He's
do
not
something.
even at the company anymore.
True, but still, we need to use her hires. They need to work something.
Oh man. They had backstage segments before that where Roman told Jimmy and Solo, "I want you to sit tonight out. Paul ordered a literal bus full of sushi and steak. Go eat and stay the fuck out of the ring. Let me deal with things tonight." Which, for one thing, him saying that at all, I love, because it's Roman is trying and failing to circle the wagons, but instead just trying to assert his authority. And it just seeing the storyline play out of Roman being his own downfall, Roman destroying the stable that built his championship reign, is so great. Just seeing like a proper hubristic heel where there's a little bit of sadness from the bloodline was cool, and it's a little bit sad to see Roman tear his own stable down without realizing. On the other hand, it is really fun to see Roman suffer the consequences of his own behavior.
Yeah.
By pushing away the last two that he has at all.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those things where I wish you guys watched Breaking Bad, but there's a particular exchange in Breaking Bad at one point near the end when things are falling apart bad, where one character says to the character who's causing everything to fall apart, "Oh, hello, food. Thank you."
Are you going to share?
No, never.
Darn you.
One of the characters says to the other, "I can't believe we're breaking this bad."
Oh my god.
And then the credits roll, and everyone claps.
See, the trouble with doing the "he said the thing" bit is that there is actually a scene in Breaking Bad where someone says "break bad." So they did actually.
And then Malcolm's dad does the fall onto the pavement bit again, even though it only happens once in the series.
Huh. Had a very pivotal scene.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad has been brutalized by the meme culture. It's crazy. But there is a scene where someone says to Walt, "We had a good thing going, you stupid son of a bitch, but you had to be the man, you and your damn ego." And I'm just thinking they've done that perfectly in wrestling, which is ordinarily not the place to go to for intricate personal narratives and hubristic downfalls, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a great storyline. The best. Oh, they also had Elimination Chamber qualifiers match for the women. It was Natty and Shotzi, and I don't even remember who else was in the match. Natty won, which is the one you want to win.
Right.
And if you disagree with that, then you can eat shit and suck my dick.
Yeah.
Zelina Vega was also in the match, and that's what I remembered was Zelina Vega, for one thing, wearing very little, pretty well wearing lingerie.
Nice.
Alistair, I guess, is a happy man. And her inexplicable decision to sell big moves Lex Luger style. By every move, selling it, going, "Whoa! Woo! Woo!
Everyone's hands was very cold.
You ever seen a Luger match, Addy?
Yeah, but people were talking over it, so because
Luger.
Yeah.
Luger's method of selling, especially near the end of his career in WCW, was really bad about. Oh, what? Ooh. And he's doing that. He's doing that to sell like a stinger splash.
oh
As he is getting splashed, their chests are making contact, and Lex goes, "Oh!" Lex takes a knife edge chop and goes, "Oh!"
Lex takes a knife edge job and goes woo.
There should be someone who does that woos themselves getting chopped and then kind of goes like, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?"
That's why we need Takeshita from AEW and Ric Flair to have a match. Ric Flair shouldn't have a match, by the way, but still.
I don't know. If Rick has another match now, he might die in the ring.
Yeah, I mean that's what he
That way
wants.
yeah, I was about to say that way everyone gets what they want.
Ric Flair dies and Takeshita adopts the Legend Killer gimmick, but he's for shoot.
You actually see Legend start to clear out of the backstage away from him.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
wrestling talk I got, and I am eating food, so I can't talk much.
Well then. Oh yeah, I did open up the memes.
Hamburger.
So I wanted to read this one out because the way this is worded is very enjoyable to me. So someone on Twitter wrote, "I love when it starts to get cold because you can finally tell which fat fur furries are fat IRL and which are skinny, shivering little guests in the house of Chubb." And that less line just sounds like a Dark Souls description to me. Skinny
What?
shivering little guests in the house of Chubb.
That's just fetish material.
I mean, yeah,
That
but
was a lot of words, and I understand very few of them.
good. Keep it that way. But I just,
Okay.
But yeah, this just sounds like fucking. Well, once again, like Dark Souls description stuff.
Can I just say the opposite gimmicks we have here of if it's plain more or less conventional sexuality, then Pink's like, "Oh yeah," while Addie's like the pure one who wants nothing to do with it. Then you get into weird kinks and fetishes, and Addie's like, "Oh, I love this. I talk about it all the time." And Pink's like, "What?"
I mean, the thing with kinks is that for one, I don't understand any of this, so it helps with me giving me psychic damage, but also, like people's reactions to it are grand, so it's just whatchamacallit, it's just like classic trolling. It's just
Yes, but I would like to ask you on Mike's behalf to stop hitting Mike with it because it might takes genuine psychological damage.
I haven't hit Mike with it with fucking in fucking months.
Yeah, but you haven't talked to Mike in months.
But yeah, but even when we did talk, like I've started talking to him about stuff like that.
Oh boy.
Like just because he talks like I still talk to him about stuff like that, I don't.
That's the joy of Mike having a bad short-term memory, medium-term memory, whichever.
Like I think it happened once, or no. Okay, I think I'll own up to twice because I don't fucking remember how many times it actually happened. Like I'll say, yeah, maybe a couple of times it probably happened, but I talked to him about other stuff too. And then I also just stopped doing it after a while. Yeah.
I also talked to him about missionary position.
No. Like the only like the most recent time that I remember talking explicitly about weird stuff like this at Mike is in one of our videos when we were playing Dead by Daylight, which is how you know it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But you remember the boy syrup bit?
The what?
Boy syrup.
No. Oh, right. Boy, could you hear the damage Mike took from that one?
Yeah. I love that moment just because
I've heard a lot of them where he goes like "you" or "no" or "please stop." That one was the first one where it sounded like he was legitimately disappointed in you.
I mean, I like that moment because his immediate reaction isn't "you" or whatever, you know, like you said, it's "you should be in jail."
Yeah, it's a pretty good line. I'm gonna steal that one day.
That's great. But yeah, I had yeah.
I said straight to jail.
Yeah. Do not collect $200. Do not pass go.
Pass go.
But yeah, like I have a higher tolerance for fetish stuff, at least as it's not morally bad.
Yeah.
Just because all of sex is esoteric to me, so it doesn't make a difference. I can't be afraid of Cthulhu if normal Christian God is fucking whatchamacallit, cosmic horror too. Yeah.
I don't think you're interpreting that right, but okay.
Yeah. I can't come up with a better simile. Is the problem.
Cthulhu isn't just the symbol of your religion is wrong. Cthulhu is also the symbol of the universe does not care.
Yeah.
Which, of course,
guess,
there's all
yeah.
sociopolitical things going into Lovecraft.
Yeah.
But, everyone always brings up the race thing, but it's also just a thing of that mentality of the early 1920s of, the world's opening up to us, and then going into the world wars where it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
The world, as it turns out, is not our oyster.
I guess a much more easier way to make a simile is that I can't be afraid of horror books if I can't read. You know?
Yeah. I can't be afraid of Silent Hill if I don't know what a hospital is.
Yeah. I can't be afraid of Silent Hill if I don't know what guilt is.
Yeah. This James asshole is dumb.
Yeah.
He killed your wife.
Speaking of Silent Hill, I had a Silent Hill picture saved here somewhere that I wanted to share a while ago.
Oh. I was talking with Mike just earlier today on Steam Chat. Over Masahiro Ito revealed on Twitter that that Mary's body is not in the trunk of the car.
Ah.
It's in the back seat.
Ah.
Ito said James loved her too much to put her in the trunk.
Makes sense.
Oh no. She had to do it to him.
Yeah.
She draws a little hand making the OK symbol and then punches James in the shoulder.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's dick butt. She drew dick butt on the window behind her.
Oh.
The ancient memes. Oh,
From another time.
Yeah. Okay.
Donald Trump ruined it.
I'm just reminded of how it used to be a meme because of AC Origins. It used to be on Assassin's Creed community meme that whenever you talk about like old memes or whatever, to go ancient writing from the Old Kingdom, Because that's what he says whenever he looks at injectables, pretty much.
Yeah. That's the wacky thing about Origins being set in, very, very late Egypt, is that there's a lot of stuff you can find in that game that is just as ancient to Bayek
Bayek.
that is just as ancient to Bayek as the stuff from his time is to ours.
Yeah.
Egypt as a civilization is fucking old.
Yep. And like
The very first.
and like even the language that they have in this game isn't actually like period appropriate Egyptian, because we don't fucking know what it sounded like.
Yeah, we can hazard some guesses that there's probably a fair bit of like Greek or Aramaic going on, but outside of that,
Yeah, so like the quote unquote ancient Egyptian that they have in the game is just a reconstruction of, well, here's how languages that were inspired by it or whatever, influenced by ancient Egyptian sound like. So I guess something close to this.
yeah. I mean, they also could they not have just taken the get out of jail free card and had everybody speak Greek since it's supposed to be Hellenic Egypt?
Well, no, because not all of Egypt is under, well, not all of Egypt is completely under Greek control. As in, like, most of, like, it's a thing of like, well, yes, there's statues of Ptolemy. That's the most Greek thing in the entire city.
Yeah.
I forget, is it Ptolemy or Ptolemy? Probably Ptolemy.
Ptolemy.
Yeah, whatever. He's dead. Who cares?
He's dead and he was a nerd.
Yeah.
Nobody likes Ptolemy.
Yet another historical jabroni.
I feel like this is a funny history meme for us, for our group, to just be like, hey, let's try to be like accurate about this historical thing. Actually, never mind, it's old. Fuck it. But yeah, speaking of history, there's this. Oh, it's actually an ancient Egyptian thing too, so it fits.
Oh my god.
the first ever toy, I guess, I don't know, first ever depiction of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, it's a reference to the thing. The thing that I know, I
Yeah.
clapped.
Not gonna lie, I
Yeah.
figured the first ever depiction of Sonic the Hedgehog was gonna be a fetish thing.
Ah. He's one of those like it's this doll, but it's yeah.
So old, if you use the term fetish to describe it, it wouldn't mean a sex thing, it'd mean the old definition of fetish.
Yeah.
Like someone wears that Sonic the Hedgehog thing around their neck every day to scare away demons.
Yeah. But like, yeah, like the first ever depiction of Sonic the Hedgehog is an ancient Egyptian like clay figure of him that has like white hips, big tits, because he's also it was also like
Fertility idol?
Yeah, fertility idol. Or alternatively, he just has a really long cock.
Yeah.
But that was more of a like having the long cock be the fertility idol was more of a Celtic thing, wasn't it? I don't remember.
Well, iconography of the penis. Well, it's such a weird thing to even talk about.
Yeah.
Having a large penis, I think, in Christian imagery would have been associated with an incubus, which is a type of demon that is a huge rapist.
Yeah.
Historically, I mean, a lot of European art values, Pink could probably speak more to this because he actually went to art school. Or no, he went to legal school. Fuck.
Yeah, Pink went to legal school.
I was about to say, I'm not a Nazi. What are you talking about?
But
Well, actually, I guess the Nazi didn't go to art school either.
He just tried.
yeah, he tried.
He failed.
But what a jabroni. There we go. There's one I can unironically call a jabroni and not feel bad about.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
a lot of European art, and it would have been more so starting in the Renaissance, but still, a lot of European art would have been influenced by like Greek and Roman principles. And the Greeks believed that a large penis was a sign of savagery and barbarism, while a small penis meant like refined, intelligent, not those evil, stinky Thracian barbarians.
Yeah. People who don't need pants because it won't show anyway.
There's a lot of very goofy imagery surrounding that.
Yeah, but like I remember there like the Greeks had a thing about showing dick if memory serves because, or actually no, I might be confusing them with the Celts still, or like those sorts of people like the northern peoples, because I remember there being on ancient-ish civilization I read about where their fertility thing was long cocks, whatever. Also they had like they had waypoints where it was just one of their gods' heads and with a dick. I feel like that was Greece. Because I feel like the guy that you can fuck in Odyssey went to jail because he broke off the dicks from those once.
All right then.
Yeah. I also like how
there was
yeah. Go ahead.
There was a guy, I don't remember his name, but there was a Greek general commander, something of the sort. And he was infamous because he allegedly broke off the wieners of several Herms, which were old kind of waypoint statues. They were big rectangles with a head on top.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm talking about, yes.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Either which way, I believe we can just about wrap this up.
Yeah, probably.
I will be stepping out to take this plate back to the kitchen.
1 second.
Does anyone
on the note of Sonic the Hedgehog, guys, I wanted to share this because I thought it was humorous.
that I saw that. Yeah, that's great. I love that. Pink, you need to see that. I love it.
Incredible.
The hedgehog does look slightly intimidating, but it's way funnier to imagine, like, no, that is honestly just how Shadow sees himself.
Yeah. But yeah. So with that, I believe we can call it a podcast, yeah. Bye.
Yes. Does anyone want to join me for Fire Pro afterwards?
Maybe.
I can join you in